Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and of course, as many of you know already, the new mythic ended up coming out for the month earlier today, and that of course being the new Undine troop. Is it worth getting? Not really, but yeah. It's a new troop, it's out there, it's in Glory Gem Guild and VIP chest for this week, then of course after that it'll be in a drop pool with everything else. Only two keys that it is not in is gold keys and event keys, so do keep that in mind, those are only two keys it's not in, but yeah, not really too good of a troop. It's going to mainly be good with two things, merfolks as more merfolks come into the game, as well as a blue counter. But that is about it. Oh, and a AoE counter as well, but there's currently not much that gets ran these days that are considered like AoEs that you can really use it against. Like on this team, the only thing we'd be able to use it against is the grapple pot in particular. But of course, we just did a Teams video on it for any of you that may have seen. That uploaded about like 10 minutes ago or so. But this is the best team I found for it so far, though we are going to be maybe messing around with a few others. And if you guys have any suggestions, let me know with that. But there are very few options, that is for sure. Okay, we'll go and need to get Azura up. That should be our first order of business. Which we could get Submerge on everything already, so we could start and counter out that thing. Luckily, we just stunned it, so that'll be good. Get our mana that we need off that explosion. And go from there. Wow. Okay, goblins, stop, please. Today. Don't do this. What are you doing, goblins? Oh, yeah, we could also dodge his AoE, and that AoE, and all the AoEs. Well then, at least we have a backup plan with this team, and that backup plan is, use a Skady. Do I do something else before I do? Yes, because I need that to be targetable. Oh, never mind, it's gonna get silenced, regardless of what I do. I still want to do it first, though, so we do this. Then we move his team back. And then we throw the tidal wave thingy. And that gives us a Queen Mab there, which is somewhat blocking our mana. The reason it works with Azura is because, Azura actually accumulates this mana, but in the case of Queen Mab, I guess that is technically semi-block. Though we don't have enough damage, do we? Because we lost the thing. We only have one. That's 12 damage. That is, what, 36. That is not enough damage to kill. So do we wait? Yeah, so we'll go and take that then. Maybe get a Queen Mab down on her or something. I also can't reach it with Corvash now since I did cast that one ability. Though Queen Mab would still reach it, and I believe that's... Oh no, that's not enough damage. I would need to get both of them down, which is definitely not going to happen before it gets full mana. Well, maybe it will because he's blocked enough. It might, it might. We don't have enough blue here. We do have the one Submerge to dodge that. Oh, we are using... Oh, you know what? Never mind. We can go do this. Oh, but we can't target it. Luckily, we can do that. But we dodge everything. We finally get to dodge. I actually haven't really seen many dodge everythings, but yeah. Get our entire team submerged and then just dodge the entirety of its ability. She did basically nothing. Even, especially since she's frozen, she did literally nothing. It does come in handy quite a bit as well against goblins, that is for sure. But that's mainly from Queen Mab and Skady, not from the new mythic though. The new mythic, of course, is doing the submerge aspect of it. Okay, we'll go and move that down, get a bunch of cascades. Somewhere's in all that mess, we got 2 extra turns. I saw the green, didn't know where the other one came from, but we'll go throw that down. Still not enough blues. Even with a Skady, we can't get enough blues on the board. How many blues is there right now? Oh, now there's 13, of course, after I already cast my ability. But we'll throw a Corvash here, and then we can just wrap it up into this. And that is match. We could do it with a Skull, too. Yeah, that's pretty much the team. I might try for next Guild War Blue Day. Though, of course, since yesterday was Guild War Blue, it's going to be another 3 weeks before we get the chance. But, oh well. Nonetheless, we will do it whenever we can again. But yeah, that's pretty much the team. Is it anything too special? No. Not really that great of a troop. But yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say about him. Not really that good. Not that good. I'd rather be using almost any other damage source in place of him. Of course, against stuff like this and other instances, it could be okay for surviving. But the only instance where surviving is particularly useful and not winning quickly would be... mainly in the context of Guild Wars, and that's about it. Because you wouldn't need it for raids, you wouldn't need it for invasions, because none of them really do annoying AoEs or anything like that. They have annoying single targets, not AoEs, so... yeah, the only place you'd really use it is Blue Guild War Day, or really just Guild Wars in general, but particularly Blues days, or at least at days where your enemy has blue that he is capable of being used on. But that's pretty much it. This Guild Wars. Also, if they're running, if you're on a green, red, or blue day and they're running a lot of AoEs, that would also work, just shoving him into a team. Particularly if your team, again, uses a lot of blues. Though, again, that will really only happen on Guild War Blue Day. I don't really foresee that happening on many other days, unless you make some really clunky teams. Teach me your ways. What ways do you need? We shall teach you all the ways. We know the way. Anyways, let's go throw the Corvesh down. I'm not even going to throw the skull. It's not like fire bombs where it kills out itself, so we don't even need to bother with that. We'll just go kill that out off the thingy. Off the mana burn. Off the thingy! Great descriptive words. We'll go throw that down, and it's pretty much dead, though we are up against fire bombs, so that's kind of to be expected. And now if he hits us, we just dodge everything. Not like it will matter much, but oh well, we'll get to dodge it. Hello, McCoy! Also, hello, Vangor, and Frag Hunter, and Elite. Actually, did I even say hi's in general? I don't even think I said any of the hellos. Wait, why can't I scroll? Wait, what's happening with chat? It won't let me scroll. YouTube, what are you doing? What? That's strange. Hold up, 1 second. YouTube doesn't let me scroll anymore. What? I have to manually go and, Okay, let me refresh this page. Hopefully this doesn't get rid of all my chat. It's not letting me scroll. I always use the scroll option because it's the easiest way to get through chat. I might have to manually drag it now. What are they doing? Is anyone else able to scroll through the chat? 1 second, I'm clicking refresh. This should hopefully fix it. Okay, there we go. Now it scrolls. That was weird. It wasn't scrolling for whatever reason. Anyways, hello everyone. Hello Minternash Film. Hello William. Hello Hello Sea Dog. Hello Exos. Hello JZG. Hello hello Elite. Hello Frag Hunter. Hello Jamie. And thank you. If you have any questions, just let me know. Hello, Vangor. Vangor in the house. Hello, McCoy. And that's everyone. Or at least everyone who said hi so far. And hello, everyone else. Let's see. You watched your video on the chest opening? Sorry about the luck. Yeah, we got really unlucky this time around. We did get a couple good side drops, though, which I'm happy with. I think we actually got a couple upgrades. I didn't even double check to see. Let me go do that now. I didn't even bother checking that earlier when we got it. But, yeah, let me go do that real quick. We might have some upgrades from that. I sure hope so, with how many gems we spent. We better have some upgrades. Let me see. Troops. Come on, load. Let's put a loading. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Okay, anyways. Let's check upgradable. And hopefully we see like 10 things. 3. Better than none. So we'll go upgrade these guys then. Ascend to legendary. Level it up to max. Most of these are like pure useless. If we go and use that spinneret, or not the spinneret, but that new spider thing, at least we have this thing at Mythic now. This one right here. So we were finally able to get that to Mythic. That's nice. Because that's actually somewhat useful with the new legend that came out this week. And it's still available too, don't forget. That new legend that does webs. If you're going to go for anything, I'd probably prefer going over the, or going and get yourself a, that new legend than trying to attempt this Mythic. Because the new legend's actually better than this Mythic. And not necessarily better, depends how you look at it, but it's used in a lot more situations than what you would use this current Mythic in, that is for sure. Though it is kind of interesting that they're both kind of themed around a anti-spell ability, which is kind of cool. Anyways, let's go and ascend this guy, and that'll be that. So that's all the upgrades we got. Not really that many. Not really that many at all. But of course we already have almost everything, so getting even one is quite a bit, because we pretty much already have them all. And the ones that we don't have probably aren't even in the drop pool at the moment, so they're impossible to really get up unless you got it on like the very first week or something. But anyways, oh yeah, I keep forgetting. We have this team here, and I can't actually use anything else in my PvP unless I go and kill this out. So let me go kill this out real quick, which is a standard kind of divine team with Infernus. Any of the normal ones that get used, just to clear this out so we can actually keep doing PvP. Because as I mentioned earlier, I cannot actually use the new Mythic against this, because it doesn't work against Infernus and it doesn't work against Ketris because of how their damage is distributed. It's basically a single target. It's a random single target that then splits, and none of that's actually considered AoE. Or at least in this game, it's not. Okay, we'll go move that over. But even if it hits absolutely everything on the enemy team, it's not considered AoE. Which is kind of funny and odd, but that is how it currently works, and probably how it's going to stay working. Well, if nothing else, we could just destroy everything with Infernus. Could you imagine if they add like another Infernus tier Mythic? They haven't done anything as good as that for a while. Like, things on the line of, like, Guard's Avatar, Elamagrim, Yasmin, Infernus, World Breaker, stuff like that. They haven't done one of those for a while. I think World Breaker was actually the most recent one. That was almost like a year ago at this point. It's been a while. Okay, we'll go throw that down. Alright, come on, cast. I'm really curious what that Doom Skull mechanic will do, though, and if they're going to create a mythic soon after. Could you imagine that? Like, make every single skull on the board Doom Skulls, and then, like, add 6 Doom Skulls or something. Though then again, that'd probably be a really high chance of missing, but something along those lines would be quite powerful, I would assume. Because my speculation is that Doom Skulls will be very similar to what the extra damage skulls were in Puzzle Quest, where it basically explodes everything around it and do some extra damage. Because that would make the most sense, because they take pretty much all their inspiration from Puzzle Quest, or a lot of it anyways. Because of course that is their game. Let's see. How do you have 3 Undine? There was someone that said they got it off of 3 keys earlier, or 50 VIP keys, someone said they got 3. Was that you? I forgot to double check who that name was. I replied to it, but forgot to double check whose name that was. But yeah, that is absolutely insane, whoever got the 3 Undines and 50 VIPs. I don't think I've ever gotten triple off of 3 VIPs. I mean, 50 VIPs. You're stuck on level 1,260 because you have 2,500 gems left, and then you're deleting. Wait, what? I don't understand that second part. Or that first part, I should say. You're stuck on level 546. Oh, wait, is there just a glitch that caused all levels to freeze? That could have happened. There might have been a glitch when they released a new mythic this morning that froze levels. I haven't heard any reports of that, though I didn't really check the forum this morning, so I wouldn't know. Let me go check real quick. I just made sure to check the post to see if the thing was actually in the drop pool, but that was it. There's 7 new posts. Let's see, traits, daily VIP, Guild War, help build, first mythic, looking for guild advice. I don't see any. Is that issue happening with anyone else? Level being frozen? I wouldn't know because I haven't gotten a level yet today, but we'll find out later today when we actually get a level. We're still quite a bit away from it, though. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Glitches happen all the time. They're normally pretty quick about getting around to the more minor, or, you know, the more, like, when it happens from, like, a random event like this, they're normally pretty quick to get around to it. If it's something that needs a client-based update, they'll take, like, forever and a half to go and do it. Though something like that wouldn't require that. Okay, what do we even need here? We'll go and move that down. Get our explosion, go from there. Yeah, another rubbish mythic. Yeah, they really do need to get slightly better at releasing mythics. I think one of their biggest concerns, which is understandable, is not to make mythics too strong, because then that would be pretty unfair to literally everyone if, like, the meta became just use 4 mythics, and then if you don't have those 4 mythics, you just don't do as good. There are some instances like that where, for example, using 2 mythics like this are pretty decent. But there's still no team in the game that uses like 3 or 4 mythics, or at least not realistically. There are teams that can be built out of it, but they're not as good as other viable teams. But I think that's one of their biggest concerns, I feel like. Because they make mythics really niche in that they have like one particular purpose, and that's about it. And they don't really do anything else besides that one really particular purpose. Okay, I kind of want to throw this team down again, but we are getting nothing to throw this down against. Every single team we keep going up against isn't really worth throwing it at. It's all for Infernus' fault. Yes, Infernus has broken everything. Yeah, I'm curious what they're going to be doing with him in the future. If they do anything, it's probably just going to be a small damage rollback from the buff they did a while ago. Though if they don't do anything next patch, I don't think they're even going to touch him. They might just leave him as is and balance everything else to be as overpowered as him. That's the only slight bad thing. Because they always like to, like, rebalance troops by basically adding counters to them. But in doing so, they never really re-nerf the powerful troops. Instead, they just power creep everything to whatever the stronger troops are. And just slowly over time, you just keep getting stronger and stronger meta within the game. And before you know it, it's just going to be like 2-turn win every single time. Because it's just going to curve so far. Luckily, it hasn't reached that point yet, but it will eventually. If it keeps going like that. Alright, we'll destroy that down. And there we go. Because you can get some really quick kills using a Queen Titania into a really heavy AoE. Because you can basically 3-shot with that. Sometimes even 2-shot, though not like a 2-shot in that it takes only 2 casts. It would take a few casts, because you would have to set everything up. But still, regardless, very, very quick. And, yeah. Actually, speaking about Queen Titania, I'm gonna go use a Queen Titania team real quick. We have that one set up. I'm gonna go do the double Queen Titania. Been a huge fan of this one, even though I don't use it too much. I need to go and throw this against not that, though. Oh, it's my revenge battle. Never mind, I gotta go use a real team against it. Oh, you know what? Let's go bring out the... It's not the Dawnbringer version, but just for fun, let me go bring out the... Where'd it go? There it is. Let's go bring this out to it, and hopefully this will work. If we're gonna use it against anything, we might as well use it against that. Though it is better if it had Dawnbringer, or it'd be better for us if it had Dawnbringer, I should say. What do we need here? I guess we'll go... Nothing good to take. I guess we'll take a skull. I mean, a red. He takes a skull, which entangles us, which isn't really that big a deal. Our priority is mana. Problem is we keep getting reds, and I don't need reds. It has -1 red on it. Or we have -1 red on our banner, I mean. Oh, that was bad. I didn't realize that was actually the entirety of the board. And there goes some of our mana. Unfortunate. Well, let's go take a purple surge. He'll skull us again, and we'll go from there. Extra turn, but we're frozen on it. Luckily, we can dodge Kraken constantly, as well as Queen Mab. That was weird. It stayed back for a second. Let's see. We'll go and Corvash here, just so he doesn't do anything. We'll get our mana, though we're about to die any second now on Azura, and I have no way of keeping it alive with anything I have. Though luckily, we can go Skady if we have to go and summon in that location, which we are definitely going to have to, because we don't have an alternative choice. There he goes, dodging the Kraken again. Every single time he just keeps, like, moving back. It's like he's dancing. What do we need here? Definitely need to go get that cast down, that is for sure. So let's go start getting a little bit more of its mana. Would be helpful. What do we even need to take here? I guess we'll go and take a blue and try for the purple drop. Didn't get it. Actually got our green extra turn out of nowhere. Wait, was that actually in sight? I don't think it was. Luckily he went and drained the thing that didn't have any mana. Or has immune, I should say. So we'll go do that. Let's go get a bunch of Skadies, I guess. Nothing else. We could try winning off that. How much damage is that at the moment? Not enough, I don't think. No. So we're going to have to go and... Wait, are you enough? No. Neither of you are enough. I guess we'll double cast then. We'll do it in this order so we get submerged on Queen Mab. So we'll do that. We're not frozen on green, right? No, we're not. Oh, excuse me. Wow, where'd that come from? I've been drinking apple cider. I don't know why it's making me burp. It's like a burp hiccup. I almost said hippo. But I don't know why. Ever since the last, like, 6 to 8 years, I want to say, whenever I, like, burp, it's more like a hiccup burp than a normal burp. It's really strange. Unless it's, like, a real concentration of carbonation or something, it'll be like a normal burp. But whenever it's, like, a smaller one, it's like a hiccup burp. It's really weird. I don't understand. Anyways, we're going to let him skull poke us. Actually, we're not going to let him skull poke us. We're going to throw that down. He's going to get a Kraken down. Not a single thing I could do. Oh, no, never mind. We can't silence him. So, yeah, not a single thing we can do about it. We'll go kill his last 2 slots. And luckily, he did not devour. So, we at least got that going for us. Got a Queen Mab up. Not enough blues to extra turn, though. But we could probably wait a turn to have enough. There goes the full dodge. Everything dodged the Kraken. So, we'll go throw that down. Get a bit of damage down. Oh, I should have casted him first. Well, I guess that's still fine. Because we get the extra turn out of it. But we could have gotten 6 more damage if we did it the other way around. Oh, well, not that big a deal. We'll go and try for a blue there or something. Got it. Nice. And what else? What else? Do we go all the way? I think Skady is enough. If Queen Mab gets slightly more mana, Skady will be enough to kill. Oops! Queen Mab's in the way. Fail! Well, I guess we just kill off of Queen Mab then. I forget how much mana it has. I really wish you could see how much mana a Silence Troop has. Doesn't really make much sense that you can't see it at all in any way. But we'll go do that, and down it goes. And that's that. Tacet's inner raptor has been released. I sometimes yawn in what sounds like a screech as well. I don't think I ever do it on stream because I have to be like really, really tired for it. But yeah, I have a really weird yawn sometimes. Oh, using a pure blue team. What am I doing? I might as well use this again because we get to silence his entire team. Like, here's the kind of teams we want to be using it against. Though realistically, almost no one's running something like that unless it's like Blue Guild War Day. Let's see. You should burp to open all your videos? No. Definitely a no. We'll go and take the brown. Oh! What? That is not the way I swiped it. I obviously meant to take the brown to the red. Though luckily we have a cascade right there, so I guess it doesn't matter much. The misclicks. Also, thank you, Marcus, for the subscribe. Much appreciated. And if anyone still has any questions or anything, let me know. if Undine is divine, divine is Shabella. Wait, is it divine? Oh, I didn't think of that. I didn't even notice it was divine, to be honest. I just saw Merfolk and I was like, yep, it's Merfolk. But yeah, it is divine, and he just got a drain on me. That's unfortunate, but we'll go take that, I guess. But yeah, you could technically use divine Isabella, though I don't think you would realistically ever bother with that, because what else would you really put on the team that's a blue divine that would work with not Merfolk, with Undine? Pretty much nothing. Also, someone made a funny post. Actually, I think it was Techni. They posted the lead developer's face on top of a normal image of a Undine, a female Undine. And what's kind of funny is since he put it on, it actually does look a lot like the developer's face, the lead developer of the game. Like, that is pretty much what his face looks like, minus the gills and minus the green glowy eyes and minus the fangs and all that. But like the normal like facial features of that face looks exactly like the lead developer of the game. Like, it's really, really close. What do we even need? Let's see. We'll go and move that down. Go take the yellow over. Can you think of any improvements to your team? Gorgotha, Talray, Tome Spider, and Sir Snothelm. Why Talray? I guess because of the webs, but generally you don't ever throw Talray in any team ever. The biggest issue with Talray is the fact you need a lot of webs, and going out of your way just to put a lot of webs on the team probably isn't worth it. But it could work. It functions. I can say that much. It would be pretty good if you didn't have alternative web options like the new legend or anything. If you specifically needed webs. I think you'd be better off just building some kind of Gorgotha, Sir Snothelm focused team, though, than something specifically based on Talray. Because the way that team's set up, it's basically built completely around Talray instead of completely around Sir Snothelm. And Sir Snothelm is much better of a troop than Talray is. I'll go throw that down. Oh, oops, what am I doing? I forgot. We could have gotten... I should have taken... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, I should have taken the skull, but I can't both silence him and skull. So go grab that so we can go Corvash him. Actually, that's the only way we could possibly see what their mana is if they actually have full mana when we silence them. That's the only way we could tell after we silence them how much mana they have. Because we know they have full mana in that case. Alright, he got hit because we didn't get to submerge because we casted him. Because, of course, whenever you cast or take a skull, you lose submerge on whatever troop did it. Oops, I just gave him all that yellow from taking that skull. Actually, I probably should have done that the other way around and let him take that skull. Could have gotten better value out of it. Okay, I'm going to take a skull here. Speaking of skulls, let me go kill that out. He gets a silence and everything on that. We'll go get a Corvash back up. And should be able to keep him at bay from there. I feel like this is getting worse every single time I keep using it. We're up against a pure blue team, something that should be able to like completely dominate. And nope, it kind of fails still. It still pretty much fails. So we'll go and, oh, wait, what? Oh, I was going to say, why isn't it letting me cast? It's not silenced or anything. Okay, we'll go and, well, speaking of silence, he is silenced now, so we'll go and take some mana for other troop, our Undine, and just kind of poke it up, maybe take a skull. Speaking about pokes, poke. He's stunned too, so we do get the full value as well, which is nice. Still would have done it even if we didn't, though. And now we get a Corvash on it right before it gets full mana, or actually right at full mana, though it doesn't get a chance to cast. And let's see. Movement, movement. Guess we'll take a skull. That's not gonna... Oh, wait, it will kill because he's stunned. Perfect. And now we just need to do that last little bit of damage. Corvash twice will not be enough. So I guess we'll have to go and throw an Undine or something in there. And we'll go take a blue. Get the full mana. Leaks into the other guy. Take the green just so we have full mana on him. Oh, come on, you know Surge. We need that Surge. When will I join Kristara's Keepers? Never. I still have my own guild. Let's see. Yeah, I used to be in quite a few different guilds, but then I just decided to make my own and kind of just went from there. And of course, I've never left my guild since I made my own guild. There'd be no point in doing so. What do I even need to do? I guess we'll go take a blue. I was kind of one of the whole points, too, and just kind of making my own guild was I don't need to hop guilds anymore because I can just stay here now. And we'll go throw that down, and boom, down it goes. And there we go. But yeah, this troop is pretty lackluster to say the least. I feel like it will have some potential in the future, but it's not that good. They really need to start adding some just slightly better mythics. Not anything over the top, but stuff that's useful more of the time than almost never. Oops, why did I take it that way? I could have taken it the other way and not done that. Oh well. Still early in the morning. I actually did wake up at 4 a.m. this morning. It doesn't seem like that because I didn't post the first video until like 9:30. But it's because I woke up that early. I did some things in the morning. I then laid down for like 1 minute. 5 hours later, no, not 5 hours. I think it was like 4 hours later, whatever it was, 3-4 hours later. It's like, oh, it's like 8:30. And then I just got up and did all the normal stuff and all that. But yeah, I hate when I do that. I'm pretty sure you guys have done that before too. When you go and like wake up early because you need to go do something, and then you like lay down for just like 1 minute just to rest your eyes, and then you wake up like 3 hours later. It's like, whoops. Luckily, it didn't happen where I like overslept, because that definitely happens too. Luckily, I did wake up way in advance in time, but that does happen sometimes too. Like if I was to wake up on like 11 or 12 today or something like that, that'd be horrible, since that would be very late, to say the least. I'm gonna move that over. Throw the Infernus down. And we'll get one more Crusher at it. And we'll be good to go. He will convince me eventually. I could bring my other account there, though I don't think he would like that, because my other account barely does anything ever. I play on it for like maybe 1 hour a week, if that, sometimes. It sounds like most of your weekends. Yeah, I know. Well, it's a good time to sleep in, especially if you don't have any plans. Let's see. We'll get that done. Saw your blue stream, and it seems you forgot about your team you gave you last week. I may have. What team did you mention? Well, obviously, if I'm asking that, I definitely forgot. But yeah, I believe I did forget about it. We did try a different one, though. Well, it wasn't, I don't think, the specific different one that you mentioned, I don't believe. Was it Rose from the Titanic? It does look really similar to his face, though. I can go bring up an image. Wait, let me go do that real quick. Oh, I forget his name, though. Well, if I look up the Puzzle Quest developer, I'll have that. Let me see. Let's go bring it side to side and see how similar the faces look. We'll go do that after this battle. Let me go Google it real quick, though. Gems of War... no, not Gems of War. Puzzle Quest developer... I forget his name. I think it's like Steve something. He has a little small wiki, actually. Where on earth is his name? He's somewhere in all this mess. There it is, Steve Faulkner. There he is. Let's see. Let's go bring him up. Okay, maybe it doesn't look as much like it. Somewhat. Somewhat. Let's see. Let's go get a side-to-side comparison real quick when we go bring the other thing up. 1 second. Let's go kill this out first. What do we even need? We'll go kill that out. Yeah, everyone just knows him as Surian, not as Steve. Or at least everyone in the community does. Also, everyone knows him as, like, Luther with a bunch of hair, but he's actually, like, extremely bald. But everyone kind of, like, images him as Luther, because that's the image he always uses. Anyways, let me go get a side-by-side comparison. Where's Undine? Undine. And is there any way to get a really big image of it? It's about as big as I think we can get it. So there's a gigantic Undine. And now let's go bring up the other one. Has like the same facial features. Let me see. Where did the thing go? How do I bring this up easily? Here's my little capture thing. Also, I'm not even in frame. What are you doing? It's because I had it off because of when I wore the bunny ears the other week. Let's see. Where's window capture? There it is. There's a window capture. Okay, that'll work. There he is. Oops. Let's see. Oh, I can't get it too close to each other because of how it is. But yeah, that's him. And that's the other guy. looks pretty similar. Because especially if you, I don't know where the image is, but there's like a side image of him, like in that exact same angle, and they have like the exact same nose and everything, which is what really kind of, it's a little bit hard to tell from like a frontline view. Also, that's the lead developer of Gems of War, by the way. Or at least an old image of him. I don't know how old that image is, probably like 5 to 10 years old at this point. But yeah, it looks pretty similar, I would say. Anyways, that's him. Similarities. Okay, anyways, go put that over. I think it looks similar. Anyways, let's go and head back to other things. Let's go and bring the, might as well go back to the Undine. Where did it even go these days? Undine. Go with that. He's gained a few pounds since that picture. I have too. I've gained like 40 pounds over the last 4 years or so. I think I gained the most amount of weight during college. Mainly because I never really had time to eat healthy, so I always like went out to get quick meals and stuff like that. And I ate way too much fast food. My diet during college was horrifically bad. Though it hasn't really gotten much better even since then. But I've been trying to stick to mainly just diets, to salads and proteins, and water for the most part. Very occasionally a soda, very, very occasionally, and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get completely off of soda, but it's just too good. Right now, I've been trying to stick with some sugary like things that isn't specifically soda. Like right now, I'm drinking apple cider and stuff, so that kind of works as an alternative. And while it's still not the best thing to be consuming, it's definitely better than drinking soda, that is for sure. Hello, Laura, welcome. Can you stop hitting us? Can you stop hitting us? Please, Azura, get tankier. I wish Azura had like Merlantis armor or something, coral armor. Have like a 35% reduction to skulls or something. Because she dies way too quick. She's used in first slot on many teams where she's going to be blocked on her mana. And she's used in first slot in order to mana accumulate, of course. But the biggest issue with her is she is so ridiculously flimsy. She dies in like 3 hits, 4 hits. Very, very easy to kill her out, that is for sure. Okay, we're going to go kill that. Oh, that's not enough damage. Oops, that's bad. That's really bad, especially after he just got all that mana. Well, I'll go get Queen Mab up. That's enough to kind of wipe, or at least do some damage there. I need to go get a silence, though, so I do want to silence that. Unfortunately, he has full mana, too. So I don't know how we should work this. I guess we throw Queen Mab first, because we're already not going to be getting extra turns, so that doesn't matter. We'll go throw that down. Get that down. Throw this onto first 2 slots, because she's going to be silenced, so that might not be as big a deal. So go do that. Actually, you know what? Oh, I should have taken brown, too. Why did I not take that brown? That was a dumb mistake. Anyways, let's go and... how long until code? Because you have to bounce for a while. Probably will be a while, unfortunately. Salty never gave me more codes, so I only have 2 codes. Meaning I will only be able to give out 1 code today and 1 code tomorrow. And because I only have 1 code to give out, it's probably going to be another hour to an hour, 2.5 or so before I give it out. I might give it out a little bit earlier, but it is going to be... I can't give it out like right now because I only have 1 to give out today. Same as tomorrow, unfortunately. Salty never got back to me on it. But hopefully this Monday or before this Monday she will, because after tomorrow I will be at 0 redeem codes and will not have any unless she helps provide me with more. If I could make my own, I would definitely have them way in advance, but unfortunately, the only way I can obtain them is by asking Salty or Syrup to make them. And since Salty is back around doing that job now, it is Salty's responsibility to do it. So unfortunately, she hasn't gotten around to it. Normally, if I were to keep reminding her on Sunday and then bother her on Monday about it constantly, she'll normally get around to it. So I'll need to make sure I do that this time around. Oh, redeem codes, they're just a small amount of resources that you get for, you use it on their website and you get like a really small amount of resources. It only works on PC and mobile, unfortunately, but it gives like 1 gem key, 2 treasure maps, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Not really that much, but it helps, particularly to newer players and such. We give them out on Fridays, Friday morning stream, Saturday morning stream, and Mondays. Nights are generally the times we give them out. Very occasionally for special events we give them out at other occasions too, but those are the general scheduling of when we do them. We also generally give 2 on Friday morning streams and Saturday streams, but as I just mentioned, she has not given me more codes, so I can only give out 1, as those are my last 2 codes. Well, have a good day, Vancouver. See you later. Let's see. Azura, Scion, Hylinda, and Skady. Sure, I'll give it a shot. anything that's even remotely possible to use this thing in, I will definitely attempt, because most things that I've been trying have been pretty average at best. Pretty sure that's as far as you can really get with them. If Infernus were to get nerfed, would you reducing explosions to 3 or removing the Firestorm trait be the better option player-wise? As far as the bigger nerf, it would probably be a bigger nerf to remove his Firestorm than to remove his 2 explosions. But as far as what would be more manageable and have less backlash, I'm pretty sure lowering his explosions by 1 or 2. Personally, I feel like the way to rebalance him is to undo a good majority of the damage buff they gave him a while back. They gave him 6 damage out of nowheres during one patch, and if they just cut that down by half, or some amount, it would still be a buff compared to before, but a nerf compared to what it is now. So if they nerf it anywheres from 1 to 5 damage, it'll be more balanced while still being stronger than what it used to be. Because there was a slight need for it to get buffed. Well, kind of. There was requests for it by quite a few people, just because compared to some of the other damage options, it wasn't really that over the top. Particularly at the time, I believe Elamagrim Loop existed. So, yeah, obviously that was like a lot of damage in relative to it. But, yeah, just cutting that down some, I think, would be the best thing for it. Or if nothing else, leave it exactly as is, but higher its mana cost by 2 to 24. A lot of Mythics have a 24 mana cost, or in Skaty's case, even higher than that. And their ability isn't even as good as Infernus. He has a exceptionally good ability for only 22 mana cost. So if they were to raise it to 24, that could fix some of the issues too. Because he gains his mana just slightly too quick, particularly once he, of course, keeps looping with his Firestorm and everything like that. Could definitely be a bit of a issue. Anyways, let me go switch into that other team. Let me go kill this out real quick, though, before I do, because obviously this isn't a real team. It's just a bunch of fire bombs. Do I have this? Where's my spider team? I know I have a random team with a spider on it. There we go. Let's go kill it out with this real quick. Oh, that's why the person mentioned that earlier, the one with all the webs. You were doing that because you needed a spider on your team, this tome spider. Okay, I guess that made sense then. The person that said that Tauray team earlier. I wouldn't use that as a standard team, but just for farming up trait stones, yeah, that's fine. My bad, I forgot about that. Yeah, you do get 2 times trait stones this week for using the little spider guy in your team. I haven't been doing it much because I have 0 need whatsoever to bother farming trait stones. If I'm farming trait stones, it's just indirectly because I'm trying to farm gnomes. That's the only time I would ever actually be farming trait stones. But yeah, there we go. Take that out. Good to go. Let me go do that one team that was mentioned. Well, pretty much every team with it's going to be pure blue. They ever build around, what's his name? Around Undine. Maybe not always, but pretty much always. Let's see. So let's get Azura in there. Already got it. Scion. A little weird having Azura and Scion. Very rarely would you use both of them together. And a Hyndla for summoning. Wait. I'm confused now. Why would you need, Oh, wait, never mind. That's not a, Undine team. Oh, still we'll go give it a shot. Might as well. Interesting. It seems to be lacking a lot, though. Well, since we're not using that one color, let me go do Frozen Banner, since we're not even using red. So we'll go grab that, and we'll give it a shot. Basically, Azura spam into Hyndla, spam into eventual Skaties, into replacing out the Azura that's inevitably going to die with a Skaty. I mean, with a Queen Mab replacement. We'll go drop that down, get our extra turn, throw an explosion down. I probably should have taken an extra turn blue. Do we actually get any value off extra turns? No, never mind. Nothing really triggers off extra turn other than like maybe a little bit of HP. So we'll go throw a Scion down. Scion countering Scion. I remember when that used to be used a lot. It's not used as much these days, but Scion being used to counter out Scion. Same as Famine countering out Famine. It's not as needed these days because an actual mana, immune to mana drain trait now exists. But for a while, you basically had to use either Scion against Scion or Famine against Famine as a proper counter to both of them. You know, there's a problem with balancing if something's best counter is itself. That's the easiest way to tell if you have a balancing issue. We'll go and we'll go just kill a bunch of them this way. Get that nice little split in there, get some Azura going and go from there. Did I miss anything else? Also, hello, Sean! What key should you use for the new mythic? You get it on Glory, Gem Guild, and VIP chest, the new mythic. Basically, every chest except gold and event keys. The best keys that would have the highest amount of chance would be things like gold keys and VIP keys, if you happen to have them available. Oh, did I just say gold keys? I meant gem keys and VIP keys. No, they are not in gold key drop hole. Sorry if I accidentally said that. But we'll go and get the Azura down. If anyone else had any other questions I missed, definitely leave them again. Because I do sometimes miss them. Oh, any tips on treasure hunt? The most you've done in turns in treasure hunt is 60 turns. Also, this game is extremely hard, especially when you're facing against mythic cards, being level 120. Well, if you are finding the curve of the game to be slightly hard, well, for one, earlier on in the game, you can't really do 3 trophies that often. Because for whatever reason, they keep giving you like excessively higher levels. And it's pretty understandable if you can't run 3 trophies in PvP when you're first starting out. But I should be able to run at least 2 trophies most of the time, and definitely 1 trophies. But yeah, doing treasure hunt a lot is a great way to progress your account earlier on in the game. Not only does it gain a really substantial amount of resources, at least relative to when you're first starting out, but it's also doesn't level you at all. And this is good in a way because PvP and Arena both match you based on your level. It's based on a lot of other factors too. One of the main ones is your level. But as far as treasure hunts, always start from the bottom. Always take as many 5 times as you can. It's much better to take a 5 times than to take a 4 times. Of course, still take 4 times, but you want to be taking a good majority of them, specifically for 5 times matches. So here I'm going to go completely against that, but that's mainly because I want to take it into a 5 times. The main strategy to really know is be very careful not to get the bottom of the board clumped. A good majority of the starting board when you're first starting out in these kind of mini-games, or at least in treasure hunt I should say, is specifically trying to get your bottom uncluttered. It's going to be very easy to get it extremely cluttered, and you want to undo this as quickly as possible by trying to get the lower resource gems down there. You also want to make sure you condense your larger resources as quickly as possible if you're trying to go as far as possible, like if you're trying to get the double vault achievement or something like that. Generally, if you're just going sheerly for points and to get the weekly thing done, because of course this week you have to go and do a bunch of this in order to get the event objective done, which we will be doing a little bit more. Probably tomorrow will be the big day on it. I'm going to be doing a bunch of timings. I guess we could technically do some of that today. But anyways, as far as overall score, if you happen to have a lot of maps accumulated, either just from using a bunch of Tyree or any other factor, if you have several hundred maps, it's actually better just to rush through your maps as quickly as possible than even bother playing them out. The main reason for this is because with between 4 times speed, as well as the repeat button that they just added in the most recent patch, it is so ridiculously quick to just keep spamming over and over again, and you just get so many more turns that way, a lot more than you would actually thinking out every single one of your turns. But as far as you would normally do thinking out every single one of your turns if you're low on maps, or if you're specifically trying to get vaults. Vaults do have gem keys in it. They're not particularly useful because their drops are pretty average. For how long they take. They take quite a while to give kind of average loot, but they're still pretty nice. As you can see right here, we're going to want to go grab that. We need to make sure we go and condense these little yellow ones. Want to make sure this thing doesn't go to the bottom, so I'm going to move that away. Yeah, how many turns are we even at? 36. Could do a little bit better. We're probably actually going to end only at around 60. It does happen sometimes. It does come down slightly sometimes to luck, though once you get a general strategy down, you can get pretty consistent, like hundreds and so. So I think this one that I'm currently doing is going to be more towards a 70, unless we get some luck kind of cascaded here and there. Let's see. We'll grab that just so we can go and hopefully get something off these silver coins. Doesn't look like it. We'll go for a cascade. I was hoping we could get a 5 times out of that cascaded, though we get it there somehow out of nowhere. I'll take it. Better than nothing, I guess. That's pretty pointless. Actually, a lot of these moves are starting to become pretty pointless. This bronze coin's also extremely in the way, and I have no direct way of removing it. Actually got a lot of clutter at the bottom. That's unfortunately really handicapping us right now. We'll go move that over so we can go move this one over. Maybe we'll go try getting 1 vault this time just for fun. Ooh. Never mind. Okay, we'll go move that over. We might not be able to reach the vault. Go grab that down. Take the 5 times. Oh, if we keep getting that. Oh, was that a 5 times there too? Should have taken the bag first if that was already there. I don't think it was, but we'll go move that down. Oh, wait, why did I do that? That was a complete waste. That one's worth it, though. Oh, but I forgot to... I did it again. I could have taken it 5 times of those bags, and then I didn't go for it. Fail. Now I'm going to have to take it for 4 times. At least we got to get rid of the bronze coin, if nothing else, from that. Okay, I'm going to take this in a weird way, because I want to make sure that that green chest stays there. So I want to take that over. because that needs to stay exactly where it is. Now I need these bags to condense into an actual bag. So we'll go do that. 5 times that down. Oh, no! No! Okay, that is not where I need it. Whoops. That's bad. Well, never mind. That is not going to work out now. We're not getting a vault. Oh, not that big a deal. Anyways, go move that over. And we might as well just send out the map at this point. Anyways, pretty standard map. Pretty average. As long as you can do at least 60 on it each time, you do get seals for that. But generally, the best way of actually using maps is doing exactly this. Just rush through it. And just take the first move you see every single time. Of course, if you don't have a lot of maps, maybe play them out a little bit more than this. But this is the most amount of resources you can get per hour. Also, I think it's about, on average, 50 seconds per map doing it this way. And it's also the quickest way that you could possibly get event gems during one of these events. Unfortunately, mindlessly taking these. Well, actually, maybe not mindlessly. It's actually a little bit hard to constantly do this at a really, like, accurate rate where you don't miss, like, any time at all. Because you have to constantly be looking at about 3 different areas of the board in order to make sure you always know what your next move is going to be. And that can be somewhat difficult sometimes because you have to basically take a move every few seconds. It is pretty nice, fast-paced. I do actually enjoy doing this. It's I actually enjoy just trying to do that strategy than even playing out the maps. I enjoy trying to figure out like what the quickest possible move is, because it gets hard once the board starts getting really congested. Oops, come on, move, take that, and there we go. And as you can see, 42 just from in no time flat in like what, a minute or so. And there we go. And we actually get not that bad rewards too. 22 glory. Of course, the 4 event gems, which is the main reason we're even doing this. 2 gems, a small amount of souls, small amount of gold, some trait stones, all that mess. But yep, pretty much like that is how I normally play my maps, because the amount of resources you gain per hour is way more doing it that way. That even if you get like 3 volts, you still get more overall per hour just by rushing through them. Because a treasure map can take a lot of time to actually complete out. Like if you get a really far treasure map that goes to, let's say, 100, 200, maybe even 300 turns. I think 200 something's been my highest ever. But they take a while. They can take a very long time because of how much you have to think out some moves and decide which one you want to take. I think that's one of the biggest issues that kind of makes treasure hunt slightly difficult for some people, particularly myself as well. You have to think a lot more ahead than what you would normally do in a normal battle. Obviously not what we're doing right now, but when you're normally playing a treasure map legitimately, you have to think ahead a lot, because you never need to worry about an enemy turn. You just have to worry about your own turns and everything going where it needs to go, which can be a little bit weird because you basically have to have a different mindset than what you would normally do in a battle, where every single turn is your turn and you have to basically set up the board constantly for yourself. Whereas when you're normally doing a normal battle, you're basically doing the inverse of that. Whereas in treasure hunt, you want to always set up the board to be good for yourself the following turn. When you're doing normal PvP, you always want to set up the board to be bad for the enemy, not good, which is the exact opposite of what you normally do in this game. So trying to use the normal strategy that you do for the entirety of the rest of this game doesn't really work that well in treasure hunt, unfortunately, because it's a completely different strategy. But yeah, that's pretty much all my pointers to this minigame. Other than that, it's just kind of fun little minigame to mess around with. Some people really hate it. I actually do enjoy it. The main reason I don't personally play it a lot is it's not worth it to. The only time it's ever worth it to are weeks like this when there's a specific event related to it. But if there's not a specific event related to it, it's completely dead content in late game, because it's a waste of time compared to doing almost anything else other than this, because the resources are just really low. But of course, when you're getting all those other resources from the event key, or from the event objectives, I mean, it does become decent value. Like, as if you go see over here, we can get all these rewards this week. Haven't hit too many of them yet because we haven't been playing much treasure map. I guess we'll go over to that and then head back to PvP. But yeah, there's, let's see, there's 90 free gems, 8 free glory keys, and 8 free gem keys, as well as a bunch of Tyries, so I don't need that. But yeah, that's not too bad. And you're already getting all the loot from the treasure maps themselves on top of that, of course, which is decent. So let me go do like 1 or 2 more maps and just go get the last of the points we need, just to reach the next reward. And then we'll maybe revisit a bit later. We're gonna move that over. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna time it today. I think we'll go save that for tomorrow. But I did want to time it for like an hour or two just to kind of get some data on like hourly rates and stuff like that. I have yet to time it a single time ever since they added the repeat button. In the most recent patch, which I don't think I've really mentioned much in the past, because of course treasure hunt is pretty irrelevant for the most part, but they did add a repeat button to treasure hunt, which actually makes the method that we're doing right now even quicker. It's kind of weird that they would buff a method that encourages you not to actually play it, but or at least not to play it properly. But yes, with the repeat button, it's even more profitable per hour to do treasure hunt now, because with the rushing method. Because if you're rushing through it, doing the quickest possible moves, it takes about 5 seconds less, about 3 to 5 seconds, somewhere around there, every single time you reset back into another battle, or into another map, I should say. So it's a lot quicker, to say the least. So we can just spam click right here, and then just click right into a repeat button, and then boom, we're right back in. That's a lot quicker than before, where you'd have to go through a lot of screens. Well, not that many screens. You'd have to go into the minigame screen, and then you'd have to go over and click on map and all that. But it still overall saves time. And when you're already doing a map within like a minute, that definitely starts to add up to quite a bit of time. I think it's 2 to 3 minutes overall throughout an hour, which is anywhere from about 3 to 4 additional maps that you can do per hour, which is nice. It's basically like 1 to 2 PvP battles extra that you can do in an hour, essentially, as far as how much resources it gives, due to the repeat button that they added. And of course, it also makes getting the event gems quicker, which is nice. Also, sorry, I didn't really look at chat that much. It is really hard playing treasure hunt and doing maps, I mean, checking chat at the same time, or at least when I'm rushing through it like this. Let's see, move that down. But yeah, I'll go check chat in a second. Sorry, guys. Let me move that over. Move that one. I like how sometimes taking completely random stuff will actually do better occasionally than me actually playing out the map. Oh, one short. What do we get here? Could have gotten another event gem. Well, we're getting like 1 gem every single time. Normally, like, it likes holding out gems and never giving it to us. We definitely need to go rebuild our gem stack up, that's for sure. If nothing else, at least we get to get that done by playing it constantly. Anyways, let me go back into chat a bit, because I did miss, like, the last few minutes of chat. Yeah, either reduce the damage slightly or increase the mana cost. Yeah, those would be the best 2 ways, I feel like, to rebalance it. Not sure if they're going to do either of them. Oh, you start with 10 turns. The reason for this is the amount of turns you start with within treasure hunt is based on your green guardian level. If you click on your green guardian in your guild, you will notice on it, it will have a level thingy, and then right here it'll say map turn bonus, and it will have a number here. This reaches the max capacity when this is level 100, though if your guild thingy is anything less than 100, it'll be a lower number there. So as you can see, we're getting 6 additional turns, which allows us to start with 14 turns on our treasure maps. Though, of course, if you have a lower number, it'll be, well, a lower number, and it'll be less turns. But yeah, that's where my higher amount is coming from. So if you only have it as 2 additional maps like that, that means your Guild Guardian thing, I believe, is level 20 to 39, if I'm not mistaken. It's somewhere in that range. But yeah, once your guild gets better or you go into a better guild, you will have more map turns per map, which also makes spamming them even better, of course. Whenever you're spamming them, you want to make sure you hit at least 20, and that's a lot easier to do with that 6 additional starting, that is for sure. But yeah, that's the big map discrepancy thing. It is slightly weaker to use it earlier on in the game, but once you finally reach a guild that has plus 100, though you don't really need that bonus for the most part, getting a few additional turns doesn't normally make too big of an impact most of the time. If you're playing out a map, it could, but if you're just rushing through them, it's going to make almost no difference whatsoever. If anything, it could actually even help you having less starting turns, because you're not going to get, you're going to get quicker rotations on your maps, which, when you're trying to farm them quickly, could actually be a beneficial thing. But yeah, that's where the map turn discrepancy comes from. It's from your Green Guardian in your guild. Of course, I have all of them like 100% max as far as they could ever go, but all you need to do is get them to level 100. It does take a while, though. Even in a guild that completes out every single task every single time, I think it takes around 6 months to fully max that out. So guilds that are just starting out are at a bit of a disadvantage in that regard, as well as a few other ways. Really wish they wouldn't do that. There is quite a bit of disadvantages to newer guilds. Anyways, we go claim that. Let me go back to PvP and stuff and go mess with the new troop, of course. So we'll go throw this against it again. Not sure if it's going to win. Should probably use something a little bit more consistent against this kind of battle, but oh well. hopefully it'll go over well. Also, didn't someone else mention a team earlier? I think I accidentally skipped past it. But if you did, definitely go and make sure to leave it again, and we'll make sure to go over it. Okay, so right here, we'll go and... don't even need to move. Also, hello, Smoke Zero. First time actually making it for a live stream. Glad you could join us. No problem for all my videos. Glad you enjoyed. If you have any specific questions, feel free to leave them in chat, and we'll definitely make sure to get around to them. Otherwise, we're mainly going to be messing around with Undine and Treasure Hunt today, because, of course, the event objective for the week is Treasure Hunt, and, of course, Undine just got released. Unfortunately, he is pretty bad, but still a new troop nonetheless. Okay, what do we even need here? Guess we'll take a scroll. If you ever run out of resources, do you think you could convince the devs to give you a temporary copy of a new mythic? I can actually convince them to just give me straight out resources. So yeah, this normally wouldn't be too big of an issue. Even if I was to completely deplete out my resources, they would be willing just to give me more resources because of how much I do to cover content for the game and everything. Basically for free for them. I am such big free advertising for them. So, since they don't pay me anything or anything like that, they are willing at least to give me, free resources if I was to need it. I've never gotten like a straight up like mythic or anything from them, though they have given me things like gem keys and just even magic keys way back when those were a thing. It was actually funny. Even before I had like a YouTube channel or anything, I said, hey, I'm going to go stream on like Steam, because Steam just recently added streaming at the time. I was like, hey, I'm going to go stream a bunch of magic key openings or do a video on it. I forgot exactly what I said. I think it was like one of my very first videos too that I ever bothered doing, like way back before I even got into doing YouTube. I was just posting it for data's sake, so people could kind of see. But yeah, we did that like ages ago, and or around that time. It was like when the game was first kind of still starting out too. And I was like mentioning it to them, and like, oh, here, just have a bunch more keys so you can go do it for your video. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they're normally pretty good about that. Haven't needed them to do that for a very, very long amount of time, but obviously after something like that, could possibly need it. But no, I try to do it as minimally as possible. We'll go take that, move that over. The devs would say use your guild seals first. I would if they would finally confirm what on earth they're doing with it. They have yet to really definitively say anything about it. They said around 8 months ago that in a few months they would change up the drop table of seal keys. And it has now been, like, what, 9 months now? Let's see, they said it like mid-summer last year. So yeah, it's been about 9 months since they said that. And they have done nothing to the seal key drop pool at all. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm still saving just in case, that slight chance that they might still do something with it. But yeah, I probably should ask them about that again. I will start using those keys again if they definitively say that they will never touch the seal key drop pool. But I can almost guarantee you they will be adjusting it in the future. While they might be doing it a lot later than they initially said, by a very large amount of time, they are still likely to do it in the future. And because of that, that is why I'm saving them. The thing that they're likely going to be doing is adding another 6 guild-related troops to the thing, and replacing out the current ones that are there with the new 6. Well, we'll see exactly what happens with that. But that's the whole reason why I'm saving them. If any of you are ever wondering, like, why on earth do I have, like, 41,000 gem keys or something in seals? Wait, is it that many? No, 4,100, I mean. I wish I had 41,000. Could you imagine? 41,000 gem keys. That would be a lot of gem keys. We have 4,100 gem keys is basically how many we have saved up right now. In just various resources. I mean, in various seals, I mean. Let's see. It's like my dragon horde, I will never spend them. Yeah, I will never disenchant my troops. There's no point in doing so this late in the game. Unless they add something that requires like 5 million souls, there would never be any reason for me to disenchant my stuff. Because I can easily just farm them out with Ferrous Raws. Even if they add like another Dawnbringer. Dawnbringer 2.0! Like Dawnbringer wasn't already strong enough. Even if they were to add another weapon like Dawnbringer, I can still easily get it right now. I would only be 300,000 souls short, assuming it has the same cost as what Dawnbringer does. Because it would cost 1.3 million souls, among a few other various small resources. And we have pretty much that many now. We almost have 1 million. And it would be really ridiculously easy to farm the last 300,000. We could do that in a single day if we really wanted to. If we were to go on a hardcore soul farming grind. I tend to not really go out of my way to farm souls anymore. mainly because it's pretty boring. It's definitely not the funnest thing to be doing in this game, that is for sure. It's not the worst piece of content, but it's definitely not the greatest, to say the least. Oops, did I accidentally use this against like the most horrible team to ever use it against? No, never mind. Queen Titania it'll work good against. Everything else, not so much. But we'll go and use this. And also, do any of you guys know any kind of good teams to use with Undine? I've gone over a few that I've been messing around with, of course, through the other videos and just on the stream. But other than these few, I don't really know what else to really use them for. There is very, very, very little. Of course, pure blue teams are one of the more obvious choices, and just kind of fitting it into your blue team for Guild War days and stuff like that. But not too many other options beyond that. And of course, as far as merfolk are considered, there's only like 1 or 2 even combinations that are possible because there's just so few options because of barely any merfolk in the game. I think there's like, what, 10-ish? Somewhere around there? Actually, maybe more than that, because Merlantis did bring in quite a few, but still, it's a pretty small number. Is Fairish Raw hitting next week? Yes, Fairish Raw will be in the event key drop pool next week. Do keep in mind that after you have mythiced every legend within that kingdom, you should probably stop trying to get a Fairish Raw if you haven't already gotten it by that point. The main reason being is if you're opening event keys and the only drop you need in the entire drop pool is the mythic, you are basically just burning and wasting all of your resources because you are basically 99.9% of your drops are going to be stuff you don't need. And only like that really small percent is actually going to be that Fairish Raw that you need. But it's only worth spamming event keys to try to get a Fairish Raw if you don't already have all the other troops to Mythic. But if you already have all the other troops to Mythic and you happen to not have the Fairish Raw yet, you should stop. Because anything you do beyond that point will be burning through resources at a really alarming rate. And no one can really afford to do that. I wouldn't even be able to afford to do that with the current resources we have. It's just a bit of a waste at that point. So just hope you get lucky from your first several hundred event keys you do. And if you don't get it by then, I would definitely advise stopping, because it's just a waste therefore. But yes, he will be in the event key drop pool next week. Even though this other Legends will show on that screen as the only mythic in the drop table, technically the event key drop table is completely separate, and it will have a Fairish Raw in it starting Monday. Not now, obviously. Right now, it just has all the Zolkiri stuff. Oops, we just got completely obliterated, though. That was to be expected with Yagwe as the main damage source, because we cannot use that against Yagwe. This one might work. We can use it against Kraken's Tentacles. We can use it against Sunbird. We can use it against Christine X. We cannot use it against Kraken's ability, and we cannot use it against Korvash's ability. You managed to get Ketris during the Wild Plains event? Nice. Yeah, we managed to get Storm Shield during the most recent Stormheim event. Not like we needed it. That was probably like one of the worst mythics you could have gotten during an actual event thingy off of event keys, but we did get it nonetheless. So that's one more mythic for the table of all of our random mythics to accumulate. Let's see. What is Divine Isabella available in the via keys? I believe next week or now, though I don't recall getting a single copy of her from all the keys we opened. So I would assume next Monday, though no 100% confirmation on that. Though I believe it is next Monday or the following Monday. Though I do not know official dates, so don't hold me to that, and don't open them expecting it at that point. But also, I did ask this question earlier, but I don't think anyone answered, mainly because it's not in the drop pool or anything. But has anyone opened up glory keys recently? Has anyone gotten any of the, what are they called? The bounty hunter troops from glory keys or anything like that? I'm going to be opening a couple of them, I believe, on Monday to see if we can get a few. Because, keep in mind, Bounty Hunter is next Friday, and I believe they said they would have Bounty Hunter troops available prior to the next Bounty Hunter event. And if that is indeed the case, and if they do remember that, actually I forget if they specifically stated that. They stated something like that, though I don't think they might have specifically stated it. But regardless, if they do end up doing that on next Monday, which could be likely, it might be a good idea to stock up and actually use glory keys. Very rarely would I say, go dump your glory keys, but that might be one instance where opening some of your glory keys on a Monday might be good. Oh, I didn't even think about mentioning that. Oh, I should have mentioned that earlier today. But yeah, if you still want the mythic, but you want to kind of maybe attempt at those troops as well, you might want to save all your glory keys for Monday. I should have totally thought of that like a few hours ago. I don't know what made me not think of that earlier. But yeah, there is a good chance that the bounty hunter troops will be in the drop table on Monday. No guarantee on that, but it is definitely possible. And if that is the case, you would have the chance of getting both the bounty hunter troops and the mythic simultaneously. And we're about to lose this battle, I think. Well, we'll go move that over. Nice extra turn, though that's not really going to help us because I need him to die off of something, somehow, in some way. There's no way to do that. Go, blue. No, you're one off. Why? We did. That's match. I'm not going to bother playing this out. Rip. I hate this troop. I just have to stop using it. I like using them when they first come out, but, yeah. No. We'll still use them some. I just need to use them on teams he specifically hard counters. If I try using them on just like a generic team that we're up against, it's gonna fail so hard. You opened about 400 glory keys, got none, but you did get an Undine. Nice. Yeah, we'll see on Monday if they actually are. I think I'll open like 200 or 400 of them and just peek just to see. Because in that many keys, we should get at least one if it is in a drop table. Though I don't know if my team's really going to be composed around that much. Because we'll have 2 mythics that we'll be able to use. We're going to get a mythic from the events, because we're going to pay like 1,000 something gems to go get it. And we're going to have another mythic from, oh, what's it called? The one that we had from last week, because we got it to mythic. So we're going to have those from that way. So I'm not going to need to worry about that too much. Okay, right here, we'll stick a skull. Throw down the Infernus and go from there. Oh, stretch. And oh, I didn't even realize it's using the new queen. Decent troop. It's actually a lot better than the new mythic, that's for sure. That's pretty sad. The new mythic, I mean, the new legend that came out this week is better than the new mythic in most situations. Hello, Marco. Welcome. Can I show a strong team with Yagwe? Sure. I normally use it in the generic, glitter, not the glitter claw. Well, yeah, I guess you could use it with glitter claw too. But I normally show it with this generic team: Alchemist, Moneylender, Yagwe, and Queen Titania. Pretty standard. I am doing a -1 green right now. It doesn't matter too much though. Obviously, I said that for when I'm using the other one, though it still works with the Yagwe as well, because it doesn't matter for taking green at all. Main thing that matters is red, brown, and yellow. Okay, so right off the board, right off the bat, we'll go do that. Go and get the reds on the board since we already got the gold. Now we can go convert out these purples to reds if we want to. We'll go get that for free. Go ahead and Alchemist here for free if we can get it. Otherwise, we go and throw a Yagwe, and it looks like we throw a Yagwe, so we'll go do that. Get our damage in there. See if we can get an Alchemist somewhere just to go and land that. So we'll go get that down. Throw this into a bunch of reds, and then that will give us a nice AoE and dead already. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like using a Yagwe on that team. It's actually not that bad a team. Pretty strong, surprisingly. Like, really strong. But yeah. That's basically what I like using Yagwe in. Of course, you could use it with like dragons and like a Gorgolfa team and stuff like that. But personally, this is the cheapest, and it's cheapest and most efficient pretty much. So might as well just use this. Alchemist is rare. This thing is rare. Actually, it's still at rarity too. Yagwe is, well, Yagwe. The only thing that's hard to get is Queen Titania, though you don't have to use Queen Titania. The main reason I use it in this kind of team with it is it just makes it go quicker due to Fairy Fire. And because you get to utilize those extra reds whenever you get excess reds, and you're going to get a lot of excess reds, though you could easily use anything there that uses excess red or yellow. Cheapest thing being Goblin Rocket, of course, which I like to show in this kind of team a lot, though of course she would be the better option. Goblin Rocket is strong, but it's normally towards the slower side, so if you could use quicker options, particularly for PvP, it's definitely worth doing so. And of course, she's the quicker option. He took away my red. Luckily, he didn't actually turn that, so we'll just... Oh, oops! I didn't realize there was 13. I actually wasted a bit of my red mana there. Ideally, we'll have a red to purple convert. We don't have any extra turn on that. We do get a little bit of mana and can hope for a cascade. Oh, but we have an alchemist, so let me go throw this down. Hopefully that will align the board in a way that we get an extra turn. No. I guess we still throw it and hope we get lucky. Actually, you know what? Let's throw a Moneylender down and do it that way. So we'll throw that in, get that down. Still no alignment, but at least we got a kill. Though I'm going to give him a lot of red, but does he really use it for anything? Can't get an alchemist down either. Well, other than on red, but obviously that'd be a bad idea. So we'll go throw that down, just get a double kill. He'll take a lot of red, obviously, but oh well. We'll go get an alchemist here. Never mind. We have to convert out red to get it. So I guess plan B is... What is plan B? Plan B is... We don't know what plan B is. We'll go grab that mana, I guess. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, maybe not that. We'll go and I guess dig some reds, get a Yogway up and kill it with that. Too bad the other one's not fairy fired. Wait, does he have immunity to it? No, he just happened to not have fairy fired him. So we'll just go take a red, try getting a red, didn't get it. He dies out, but we can just go for that. And he can just kill itself off of the reflect. Actually, I'm going to let him do that. Here, go kill us with a skull. Try it. Wait, what? Oh, we're stunned. I was like, wait, why did he not die? Yeah, we're kind of stunned. Whoops, fail. Well then. I was not paying attention to that. Whoops. Not like it matters, but... That would have been a huge... Could you imagine if I did that and then we lost the battle? Because I did that. Hey, Treasure Gnome. First Treasure Gnome of the thing. Yeah, we were showing quite a few teams with it earlier. Well, quite a few teams as in... We showed 3 teams with the new Mythic so far. Problem is there just isn't a great deal of options. I can go show another one. It's just we have to use it against select things. We can't do it against literally everything. Because it's bad against a lot of stuff. So we can't just spam it. We can't use it like this team, where we could throw it against basically everything except freeze. If we try using that other team against everything, it'll lose against almost half the things we bother facing. Because it's not made to face against everything. The new Merlantis group. Oops! Why did I think that was an extra turn? He better not leave! Why did I think that was an extra turn? That could have ended so badly. Could you imagine if he got away from that? He had a 30% chance. What would we have lost? Okay, never mind. He could have left. That was perfectly fine. Yeah, he should have left. He only gave us 500 souls. Well then. Anyways, this is a freeze. Oh, here we go. Here's the kind of team we would go and switch into Merlantis to. I mean, into Undine to. Also, I keep saying Merlantis instead of Merfolk sometimes. Whenever I've been saying Merlantis, if I ever do say that, I mean Merfolk. I sometimes accidentally say Merlantis boost ratio or something, but I do mean Merfolk. I think it's because they both begin with M, and both the words are never really used that often. But, yeah, I do mean Merfolk. He boosts off of Merfolk, not Merlantis. Well, we'll go throw a Corvesh down. Though, in most situations, Merfolk is Merlantis, because almost the entirety of that kingdom is Merfolk. And very few of them are anywheres other than from there. Actually, that's not even Merfolk. I think some things used to be Merfolk that aren't anymore. I could have sworn Sea Troll used to be, but then they changed its type. Anyways, we'll go throw this down, get a kill there, get our silence on pretty much this entire team other than the Azura, other than the Nyx. What do we need here? We'll go take the blue. Up, full mana. We only have 3 explosions, but still better than none. 3 explosions is still okay value, not the greatest, but we still get the stat reduction too, which actually hit on HP too, which gave us a kill. Go grab that. Can we kill with that? No. Yes, because it has the boost ratio off the mana burn, or its mana. And I guess we'll throw a Corvesh in case they have any mana. Hard to tell because we can't see how much mana they have, and I forgot if they have any before we silence them. And Corvesh them again, and that's match. Yeah, it actually worked out pretty well, but that's basically because what we were just facing is like what has made the hard counter. Against a normal team, though, it doesn't really work that well. Ooh, here's the kind of team I want to see. Pure blue. It's weird, using a pure blue team to counter a pure blue team. But it is now a thing with this guy. I wonder if they're going to do that to every color. Like using a pure purple to counter pure purple and stuff like that. That'd be a little weird. You would normally think like a different color would be specifically good at countering a other specific color. Also, as far as what definitively counters stuff on color to color, there really isn't too many instances of that in this game. Because most colors are pretty mixed in what kind of utilities they have. There are some things, like red normally has pretty high damage output and skull damage. Purple tends to have pretty high cast damage and stuff like that. Blue tends to have a lot of utility troops. Green tends to have a lot of loop and utility troops, and so on and so forth. Yellow tends to have a lot of heal and support, same as green. And brown tends to have a lot of tankier stuff. But still, there's no, like some games, you'll know, like, oh, this color will completely counter out this other color, and will always be efficient against it in most situations. But in this game, that's not really the case. There's really no instance where a specific color is meant to counter out another color. Because every single color basically has a mix of everything for the most part. Slightly less so than others, but most of them have like a general mix. They might have like a slight focus on something or another, but it's pretty much mixed for every single color as far as what actual abilities are within them. But we'll go and go get a Corvash here just so he doesn't kill us. We're almost losing to this, which is kind of sad given that it's supposed to actually win against it. But we'll go take that. We can silence his entire team just by casting this. So let's go get this down and get decent value out of that. That should be enough damage. Actually, you know what? Let's take a skull first. So now that everything we does damage to them, I'm going to cast this first because if I Corvash first, it will take away some damage potential because the boost ratio is based on how much magic they have. I mean, based on how much mana they have. And if we drain all their mana, well, there's nothing to boost off of. We'll go take a Bluetooth skull, I guess. Leave the other skull there. Will it actually take it? Oh, it took it for free because of the cascade. There's no way of seeing that, though. That cascaded from a very long distance. Hopefully it'll take a purple or something. Nope. We'll try for that. Come on, skull. There we go. And that's match. Good thing it didn't get a summon. That would have been annoying to have to go kill. And there we go. Warlord, Battlecry, Emperor Liang, Diviner, and Shocktopus. That's your team, non-mythic. Will you review this deck? Game crashed. What? The game crashed. The crash report folder named blah 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 next to game executable. It would be great if you send this to the developer of the game. Yeah. Well then. Haven't seen a crash like that for a while. They need to fix that. Anyways. I'll probably send it to them later. I know, I broke the game by doing absolutely nothing. Well, actually, by taking my little tribute thingy. I broke the game. I gotta reload it. Oh no, now it's not wanting to reload. Okay, there it goes. Could you imagine? Oh, and now it crashed because it says it's already running. Let me reopen it. I think it was just because it crashed. It's saying it was already open. Now it should work. There we go. Okay, it should work this time. Well then. Also, I still have that background from ages ago. I didn't even realize that. Wow. That is old. That old loading screen, the screen that you just saw there, that was like ancient times loading screen right there. That was like the updated one to the ancient times one too, actually. But yeah, that loading screen that's up when I don't have the game up, that is like a year and a half old. That is very ancient. I forget what the very first loading screen for the game was. Actually, I don't even think it had a loading screen. It just had like a little, it had that 6-color orb thingy where it kind of loaded through. Also, speaking about loading, can this thing load already? It's going so slow. Oh, sorry, review question. What was the one thing that Warlord, Battlecry, Emperor Liang, Diviner, and Shocktopus? Not really something I would personally use, but Diviner plus Emperor Liang is definitely decent. Shocktopus as damage is definitely decent, though the only problem I really see with that is you don't really have any backup damage source. You can't solo damage source with only Shocktopus, and having your hero like that as a... I don't think it's going to work out in that you don't really have anything beyond just your Shocktopus after your hero dies. It might work earlier on in the game because heroes are just ridiculously strong early on in the game relative to the actual scaling of troops. So it might actually end up working out quite nicely. But I would say consider getting a different weapon in there in the future and maybe getting a different damage source other than Shocktopus. Something that would work better with Diviner plus Emperor Liang. But yeah, Diviner plus Emperor Liang, that's definitely a pretty fine base. Hero first slot, Diviner, Emperor Liang, and then one other damage source. You could definitely work from that. Would be perfectly fine. I just feel like your current options that you're using aren't really the greatest, so of course you might not have too many to use. So for now, it's definitely sufficient for what your battles, but there's definitely improvements that can be made as you get stronger troops. What is your definition of ancient? Well, in this game's history, it's been out for 3 years, so 2 years plus would probably be ancient, at least in this game's history. Though really ancient would be talking about Puzzle Quest, which is of course a decade old now. Which we actually just did finish the stream for that the other week. What was it, like 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago? So yeah, that was finished up, and we're done for that for a little while. I might be streaming Puzzle Quest 2 eventually. I'm not sure if we'll be getting around to that. I don't know. Is there even an interest for me to stream Puzzle Quest 2? I know some people have asked in the past, though it's been such a small amount of people that I don't know if I would bother doing it. Because it has a lot of time. It is pretty grindy compared to Puzzle Quest 1, and I also don't care for it as much compared to Puzzle Quest 1, personally. It's more visually aesthetic, but I feel like they do visually... They sacrifice the gameplay for visual aesthetics and gimmicky, like, mechanics, rather than how it was in Puzzle Quest. There are some fun things about it, though. But it's definitely no Gems of War Puzzle Quest, that's for sure. Or, you know, normal Puzzle Quest 1. Anyways, let's go back to normal PvP. Go take this thing out. I think we'll use a real team against it. By real team, I mean anything that doesn't use Merland or doesn't use Undine. Let's see. He's not going to freeze us that quick. Let me go back to using Titanias, I guess, with the Yalgway. Why not? Actually, I do prefer using double Queen Titania than throwing a Yalgway in it, but it still works out. The main reason being is Yalgway can sometimes be annoying in getting his alignment, whereas with Queen Titania, once you get the reds on the board, you're just good to go at that point. It's a lot easier to use. And that's pretty important when looking for quick teams. Okay, we'll go get that down. It actually missed. That's pretty bad because now it has a Valkyrie. And it might kill my first slot, which would be really bad if that happens. Good, it didn't kill it yet. Means we're still in the game. He also hasn't frozen us yet, which is also really good. Go throw that down. Hopefully get it to land. Got it. Nice. Don't have any Yalgways though, but we'll go throw a little Skull Poke. Get a Queen Titania in there. See if we can go get a Yalgway poke somewheres, if at all. Doesn't seem like it. We'll go get an Alchemist down. Get down the green. Get a Moneylender down. Hopefully gives us the purple to red alignment. It does. Throw the other one down, and that's dead. And there we go. Do you have a Green Day Guild War team with the Ward Breaker? Glitter Claw Ward Breaker is definitely a combo. If you have Glitter Claw. As far as the full team that you'd build around that, do I currently use that? I don't think I do. I think I use some kind of green loop with Liasmin, if I'm not mistaken. Guild War Green. Well, I have a completely different team there. I have a different one here, though. Yeah, I don't use Ward Breaker for this one. This is what I currently use for Green Guild War. Forest Guardian, Yasmin, Queen Aurora, Glitter Claw. I sometimes switch it up slightly, but at this current moment, that's what I'm messing around with. The main one I would kind of switch out is Forest Guardian for another utility like Dark Maiden or something like that. But I don't know, I've been trying to test it in a couple different ways, and this seems to be okay. But yeah, as far as a Ward Breaker team for Green Day, basically something Ward Breaker Glitter Claw is what your team would be. I'm not fully certain what those other two troops would be, though, off the top of my head. Let me see. Let's go try building a team out of it real quick. So you'd need a Glitter Claw in last slot. Maybe not all the way in last slot, but definitely not towards your front. Ward Breaker. So we can't go Dark Maiden now, which is unfortunate. So we have to go and find a good brown-green and a good green-purple. Oh, we could use the Queen if we wanted to. That would be funny. Though I don't know if her damage that she does to yourself when she sacrifices her troop will actually hurt your score or not. I don't think it does, though. I've never tested it yet because I haven't had the opportunity to, nor would it really even fit into any of my teams. Oops, why am I doing brown-purple? I meant to say green-purple. Boar Rider isn't horrible. Asha isn't horrible. Baba Yaga isn't horrible, plus it's summon. Kraken is good. Though it doesn't really help this particular team that much. Well, I guess it kind of does. You can Kraken into the Glitter Claw, into the Ward Breaker, into the Win. Actually, Ward Breaker should probably be moved up a little bit further, like second slot. As long as you're not using a Core Vash, you can get away with that. Yasmin wouldn't be horrible on this team, too. That's really expensive. Pretty sure you might not have that. Yeah, I think Boar Rider, cheap and efficient, works. Could go Spirit Fox, too, but then that blocks your Ward Breaker some. Could go Siren, but that could be risky if it misses. And of course, like as I mentioned, it could go Kraken. And other than that, we'd need some kind of green-brown. Luckily, brown should be tanks, so there are a few of them out there. Could even just go Self-Aiming more if we had absolutely nothing. Black Beast, we definitely would not want to run. Diviner actually wouldn't be that bad, especially if we went with a Summoner instead in that slot. That would be a really good option to get Ward Breaker quick mana. It'll die very easily. Though if we really had to, we could just go do that now. That we have the yellow going directly into it. So instead of using a tank... also, we could use Dragotar and to kind of buff up our Ward Breaker too. Though if we were up against true damage, that wouldn't work as well. But then again, we already have 3 dragons. We actually could go that. I haven't used Dragotar like ever, I don't think, in Guild Wars. At least not in late game. In early game I have. But you could legitimately just go 4 times Dragon and use Dragotar, Ward Breaker, Hero Class set as Dragon Guard Hero Class, and Glitter Claw. And you would actually be able to get away with 4 times Dragons in Guild Wars. Actually, there's another day I run Guild War, 4 times Dragons as well. I haven't been running as much these days, but I run it on Red Day occasionally. Dragon Soul, Ward Breaker, Dawnbringer, and Elamagrim. Obviously, that team is ridiculously expensive. 3 Mythics and a Dragon Soul. Well, if you count that as a Mythic, technically it is. But yeah, I do not the exact same thing, but I do a general similar premise on my Red Day occasionally. as of recently haven't been doing it as much. But yeah, what's a good green-purple alternative to that if we were to go something like that? Let me just double check. Baba Yaga as a summon wouldn't really work since it's in first slot. I guess we could just go Kraken then, in that case. Because we get the damage off of that, and yeah, we'd probably just want to set our banner to a double brown, make sure we get Diviner up quickly, and just go from there. And should pretty much be good. Just keep spamming Diviner out, get into Wardbreaker, Wardbreaker gets everything, Kraken feeds Glitterclaw, Glitterclaw feeds everything else. And not the loopiest of teams, but for functioning on a green Guild War day, especially if you're not up against Freeze, should be fine. Even if you are up against Freeze, she has 1 in 3 chance of cleansing. And even if she doesn't, she has enchant and all that kind of stuff. And if you take a red, you get auto enchant on Glitterclaw too. But yeah, definitely something built around Wardbreaker, Glitterclaw. Maybe not this specific team, but around that general premise. Anyways, let's go test it real quick. Might as well. That's a legitimate team that might actually be used. So let's go and try it against it. Oh, sorry, Plumpko. My bad. What was your question, thingy? Where's your question? I see like 1,000 things asking about the question, but I don't see your question. Oh, what's your next mythic be? The Butt Knight, Uryali, Wardbreaker, Yasmin, Jotnar, Wardbreaker, without a shadow of a doubt. Get Wardbreaker. The only slight argument to that might be Yasmin, but Wardbreaker is better. Or in more instances. But yeah, I would say Wardbreaker for sure. Ah, that's bad. That's really bad. What's he doing? He's starting to get a lead. What do we have for converts? Converts. I don't want to take that because both of these, taking this down will give him a free turn. Taking this down will give him a free turn off his convert. So the best thing to take here will be that to the left. Okay. And now what do we do from here? Yeah, no problem. And sorry about that. Yeah, if I ever do miss any of your guys' questions, don't feel bad about spamming me like a billion times. Though it does make, it is better if you just copy-paste the question multiple times than to spam to go back to your question, though. Because sometimes it gets buried very far away if I miss it for a little while. Yeah, don't feel bad about, like, constantly spamming it. It does happen sometimes. I feel bad about it, too. Someone even mentioned me on my Steam page. It's like, hey, you haven't, like, said anything. Are you, like, deliberately ignoring me? It's like, no, I'm not trying to. It just happens sometimes. I by no means mean to be ignoring anyone. Unless they're, like, doing profanity or anything. Or just trolling or something like that. But, you know, if it's, like, legitimate questions, I'm not deliberately ignoring them. Just happen to not be seeing it. Spam, 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 spam. Hello, Demon Angel. Don't just actually spam the chat, though. Do it only if you have a good reason to. Anyways, let's go and move that over. Get this converted. And get into a Wardbreaker. Well, that took a while to get going, unfortunately. And he got a lot of damage. And we don't have a summoner, so if this was Guild War, we actually... Wow. Yeah, we could actually lose this still. Definitely possible. He's using that really annoying double damage team. The people have really been starting to use this a lot, too. It's pretty easy to take out with, like, normal structured teams. But with some of the more random teams, it can be somewhat difficult sometimes. Haven't seen it in Guild Wars yet, I don't believe, though. But it's the whole Gorgotha... Infernus Ketris Mercy team. That Infernus Ketris combo is actually pretty potent. They both basically do the same mechanic, just in a different way. And they cover slightly different colors, and it can definitely stack to be a lot of damage. Because as you guys know, Infernus is a lot of damage, and Ketris is the same. Actually, Ketris does even more damage, though the reason why he's not as overpowered or overused is because he ends his turn whenever he does his ability. Also, you have to basically put a lot of red generation into your team to be able to make it work. Whereas with an Infernus, you don't have to have a lot of red generation. Actually, if anything, he does red generation on his own because of his Firestorm. So he automatically kind of has that mechanic going with it. Any viable teams with Element Grim if you do not have Dragon Soul? Not enough diamonds yet. Glitterclaw or Salvan. With Element Grim, you basically build them around either Yarrow Fire Mantle or Infernus fully traded. The reason for this is because they give an easy burn. And from there, you would just throw standard mana generators like Rock Troll, Dark Troll, or something like that. But yeah, Rock Troll, Dark Troll, Element Grim, Yarrow Fire Mantle is one of the cheaper, efficient teams that you can run with them. It's slightly expensive because it has a lot of epics and, of course, that one legend on it. And to use it really well, you do need Infernus, so it's by no means required. Once you get the Element Grim team going, it's pretty much like having an Infernus already because Yarrow Fire Mantle will burn... Well, it takes him a little while to get started because, of course, he burns one at a time instead of the entire team. Once you get the loop going, you're already getting so many extra turns that he's going to burn everything anyways, so it's not really too much of a difference. But it does take a little bit longer to get started. Let's see. What was the other thing I mentioned? Figure out the let's see. Wait, who was the person that lost to your experimental team, Exos? Oh wait, you want to know. But yeah, I've said some really weird teams before that have won that should have like a 0. They should have like a negative win rate that have actually managed to win before. I assume it's because of disconnections or other means, or maybe someone saw the team. It's like, nope, I'm not even gonna bother justifying facing this weak team or something like that. But yeah, it's really weird seeing wins sometimes on like the weakest of possible teams. I think even when people used to run one Elspeth as their team, they would still sometimes have wins, which doesn't make any sense at all. Because at the time when one Elspeth was possible to be ran, there was a glitch kind of thingy with it, where if Elspeth was your only troop on your team, which was you were able to set as your only thing on your team. But basically what you were able to do is if it was the only thing on your team, and Elspeth cast on herself, you would auto lose the battle. Because it would kill herself, it would then roll the win, and then it would revive her. But it would roll the win for the other player before it would revive her. So they fixed that since then. Also, it's not even possible to set your defend team as one, even if you could. Still do it. It would still be fixed, but still, that was a pretty broken mechanic. Yet people, including myself when I said it, would still manage to get wins somehow, even with a team like that. It's really weird. Let's see. And at least 2 people in my guild use brown or goblins on brown day. I don't think that's too horrible, because not everyone has 4 Gobchompers or some kind of Gobchomper team that they run on a regular basis. Or they might not think to actually go and switch to it or bother switching to it. I know I normally stick with the same team for the entire time just to kind of see what it scores and stuff like that. Even if I do know that the thing I'm facing it will slightly counter us with what we're currently using. Because normally I like to see how a team will actually perform in a given week. Because it's harder to tell if you keep switching your team constantly to a bunch of different things. Like even this week I end up switching to Gobchompers for one battle, though that makes it harder to determine how well the team actually performed, because however we did on that one Gobchomper team could have affected the performance or the overall score of the team. So it's hard to really determine. Of course you could keep track of every other individual battle, but then you have to, well, keep track of every individual battle. I'll go and throw that down. And of course it's just easier to keep track of the overall score than every single specific score on every single specific battle. Not to mention there's 5 different categories of scores because of how it's scaled. You could always scale them to be base 300 though, but then you have to take the time to go and scale them all to 300, and just a whole mess and so inconvenient compared to just simply having one score and then going based on that by using the same one the entire time. New mythic 150 gem keys, very nice. I wish I could get it that early. Though I guess that makes up for the fact of how early we got it last time. Because last time we got it within 50 gem keys. So that was just pure, complete luck. So yeah. Compared to last time, that was like the complete polar opposite. Yeah, we got the Butt Knight, whatever his name is. Now, everyone keeps calling him Butt Knight. I don't remember what his real name is now. But, yeah. Yeah. But we got him in 50 gem keys, which was quite amazing. Oh, another one we can counter. Well, maybe that's why they added a strip. There actually is one pretty good counter to it, and that's all these teams that keep running these triple blues in it. And it's actually pretty popular because it forms a lot of very strong teams built around the whole Forest Troll kind of mechanic thing. But yeah, I guess that's one thing it's actually not horrible against. So if you've needed a counter for it and you happen to have it, I guess that is one thing it functions pretty decent at. There's still better things to be throwing for that purpose, but if you had absolutely nothing to do for it, it does function. Oops, I should have silenced him. Why did I not? That was a weird move I just did. Okay, let's go dispel him because he has barriers. We did not extra turn there, unfortunate, but let me go silence him because it doesn't make any sense that I didn't already do it. Almost his entire team is blue. We'll go take that. Go throw a skull into, I guess, a Skatey. That is enough damage. Yeah, it's exactly enough, actually. Actually, one more is enough because he gets an extra arcane. One nice thing about Arcane, which is pretty cool, is the Arcane does trigger before the ability itself. So let's say it says 31 damage here. It's actually 32, because the Arcane will trigger before it. So it's basically automatic 1 extra damage, and it accumulates throughout the entire battle too, which is kind of nice. Every single time anything casts on your team. That of course gets buffed even higher. Alright, let's go and let me throw this first. I don't know if they have any mana. I don't think they do, but just in case, we'll do that. And that should be match. Re-silence them, kill them out, dead. Yeah, AnarchyChampion, that was the guy. Anyways, let me go give out the redeem code. Let me go and do that. We do only have 1 redeem code today, sadly. Salty will hopefully give us more later. But we'll have 1 today and 1 tomorrow. Normally we'd have 2, but Salty has not given me more, so I unfortunately do not have the capability of giving any more than 1 today. Otherwise, we'll have 0 to give out tomorrow, which wouldn't be good. So let me go get out that redeem code. Actually, I believe I only have that many. I actually didn't double check. The last I recall, I do only have 2. Let me see. Watch, I might only have 1. Dun dun dun. Nope, I do have 2, and that is today and tomorrow then. So let's go hand that out. Let's see, mark that, copy it, put that there, redeem it, load. There we go. Let's go put this in real quick, make sure it actually works. That'd be horrible if it didn't. It should. Let me see, redeem, success. Oh! How? Oh no. Dun dun dun. This code is beyond its maximum uses? What? That's weird. Did I already give out this code and I forgot to mark it? I had to have. It's beyond its maximum uses. Is my other one too? There's a problem if my other one is. That means the page got leaked. Dun dun dun. Okay, let me go give out the other code. Okay, my bad. We might have no redeem code for tomorrow then. Well, here's the redeem code. We might not have another one till Salty gives us more, which will hopefully be soon to him. Probably on Sunday. Okay, let's go test out this other one. There's no way this one's dead. Gasp. But yeah, that means we don't have any code for tomorrow. We might not even have a code for today if this one doesn't work. Gosh. There we go. This one worked. But yeah, apparently we used the other one already. I guess I didn't mark it the last time I gave out codes. Well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, this is the only code we have. This is our last code. So enjoy it, because we don't have another one until Salty gives us more. We'll go put that there. And I just checked it, so it does indeed work. Let me go put this into the chat thingy. And yeah, this is the last redeem code then. And I don't believe she's giving us any more tonight. I don't think she works between now and tomorrow. What is the old code? Oh yeah, let me go post the old code, just in case for whatever reason it does work. I'll go post the old code too. Let me go put the real code in here first though. And it is that code right there. And let me double check first before I go and hand it out. Maybe it did give it out twice. Or, you know, maybe it did hand it to me and it just gave the wrong text thingy. Anyways, there's the code, the real code. And here it is in chat as well. There it is right there. For any of you that want to go claim it, use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says there is what you put in. The redeem code is what's below us as well as to the right over there. That code right there. And easier just to copy paste it from chat. And of course that link right there is where you go, or to gemsofwar.com underneath game code section. Can only be used on the PC and mobile version of the game though, do keep that in mind. Console versions it will not work on, and that gives the normal rewards of 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Also the code that shouldn't work, because it's beyond its maximum uses somehow, I have no clue how that happened, but it's, where'd it go? It's, where'd it go? That's not it. Where'd it go? There it is. But yeah, it's this one. If you can get it to work, definitely try it, though it shouldn't work because it said it's beyond its maximum usage. But that one that I just most recently posted is the code related to the other one. So, yeah, that's that code. It's pretty much just a dead code, though. So do keep that in mind. But only do the one with the link next to it. The other one should be a non-existent code. It apparently appears to be already completely depleted. Anyways, there's the code for any of you guys. Apparently that's the last code for the weekend, though, unfortunately. Because she hasn't given us more. Come on, Salty. Maybe she'll notice the message again on tomorrow or something, but it's highly unlikely. Alright, we'll go take that. Grab all that down. I know Undine, just a nix from the gem key. Oh yeah, I didn't open up my, well, it's similar, I guess. They're both kind of similar in characteristics. But, let me go take this out. Let me go actually see what we get from the gem key. I always like to do that just to see what we get from the, drop table. Yeah, I failed you. There's only been about, I want to say 20 people that have ever gotten a mythic from our gem keys. It should technically happen with how many can be claimed. It should happen once a week, as how often it should occur. Though, of course, it doesn't actually happen that often because most people don't report it or other means. But yeah, it should technically happen once a week, with how many claims each one has. Though, yeah, who will be that lucky person? Who knows? But, watch, it'll be us after we wasted that many resources. Boom! Nope, just a giant spider. Giant spider, a good troop, though. I did not need more copies of it, unfortunately. But, anyways, that's that. Let's go and 0 gem keys. That feels so bad. Feels so weird seeing 0 gem keys there because we burned through them all. From 900 gem keys or so down to 0. Plus we had to use VIP keys. I was really expecting those gem keys to be enough, but nope, very unlikely, unfortunately. You got 4 Undines. Go for 4 Undines to make one great team. That would be a really interesting team. I am really curious if anyone has 4 Undines, what your experience is with it, because that actually is a pretty interesting concept of team. Mainly because you perpetually, assuming they don't have stun, you perpetually have a complete immunity against AoE attacks, basically. As long as they don't dispel into an extra turn or any kind of weirdness like that, like with a wisp or something, or alpha is or extra turn or some kind of other thing, or, you know, from an explosion. Yeah, you pretty much have just full immunity against all AoEs, which would be kind of cool, but definitely wouldn't be worth using as a team. It'd be so glacially slow. You can't remember using that failed code. Yeah, I don't ever recall posting that failed code either. I have no clue what occurred with it. Maybe Salty accidentally handed it out on her own stream. That does happen sometimes, where she hands out a code that she made for me, and she just hands it out just out of nowhere. Which is really annoying, but it has happened actually in the past. But yeah, I don't recall ever posting that code. But it's already used up completely. And it never leaked, because the code that we just posted, if that one was used up, so would be the one that we just posted as well, so... and it wasn't. So I'm not sure what happened with it. Open all my seals? No. Are you kidding? I will if they don't buff it, but if they do confirm that they're never buffing the seal key drop pull with 100% confirmation, even then I wouldn't spam them all immediately, because I'd need to save them for new mythics and new kingdoms for whenever those come out. So even if that was to occur, I would never actually just dump all of them. I'd be using them as my gem keys, and it would save us actually... we'd be able to accumulate several thousand gems while we're waiting on that, because once we could start using them, that's about 4 mythics worth of seals is how much we have, so that could definitely work. Oh, so hello, Simple. Glad you could join us. Glad you could join us. And anyone just getting here, make sure to use the redeem code below. It's also the only one we'll have all weekends, because Salty has not given us more codes. Dun dun dun. But yeah, we're mainly just been messing around with the new Undine, as well as with Treasure Hunt. So I'm actually probably going to head back to Treasure Hunt soon, just to kind of mess around in there. If you guys have any questions, team builds you want me to mess around with, or anything of the such, feel free to leave them in chat, and we'll definitely make sure to get around to them. Okay, will we let him sigh on us? Probably not. We'll try for a brown. Got it. Perfect. The RNG gods are on our side. Okay, we'll go and, sure, we'll go through that down. See if we can get a furnace or something in here. Go grab that. What do we need? What do we need? I guess Yellow Surge. Go grab that. Ooh, go grab that too. So they're right next to each other. Double kill, dead, dead. And there we go. Yeah, I have never used it. It would have probably said I've already used the code now that it has ran out of uses. Which makes me think it was given out by Salty. Because I don't get... She could have given it out during, like, one of her, whenever she does, like, forum-related things. Like, sometimes she'll give out, like, weekly things off of Facebook and stuff. I normally don't follow her Facebook that often unless it's something pretty major. But, yeah, I think they do like little giveaway things, and sometimes she might accidentally use those codes instead, and then they get spread, and then, yeah, that leads to that. It's been a while. You added you on Steam. Back when you first started streaming Gems of War, you took a few years away from the game. Glad to see you're doing well with the channel and growing so well. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, you've been here for a while then. I was actually just mentioning that during this earlier in the stream where we were streaming on Steam itself, like way back when, like when we did a, what was it? We did like a 5,000 or 10,000 of some kind of key opening. I think it was either the old key or it was the glory key that currently exists. I can't even remember what it was. But at the time, you had to open them one at a time, so it took absolutely forever. Oh yes, it was the old bronze keys that used to exist in the game that used to drop 3 troops at a time. We also did it for for magic keys, which were another key that used to exist that were kind of similar to gem keys now. Actually slightly better than gem keys. It was basically like 3 gem keys simultaneously off of 1 key. But yeah, those are like ancient. Wow, you've been around since that long? Well, glad you've still been sticking around. But yeah, we've been still going strong. We've actually been starting daily streams as of recently. Well, as of recently, I mean like the last year. But yeah, it's been going pretty well. I know, the good times. Were they called bronze keys? I think they would call iron keys or something. Something like that. Yeah, that's like really ancient content right there. That was like when the game first started. I think it was within the first year when they got rid of that key format, the iron key and magic key format, in place of the current key format that we have today. Didn't take them that long. Somewhere around a year to a year and a half. Salty gave out 2 codes at 2 AM. Was not this one? Okay. I don't know what happened with that then. That's kind of strange that the current code isn't working. Not sure what's up with that. Oh, suggestion. Vinoxius, have any more Glitter Claw Wordbreaker? Sure. Normally you use Glitter Claw behind the Wordbreaker, but it's definitely okay using it in front. The biggest, well, not really the issue, but the only slight downside to that is, while it's quicker to get your Glitter Claw up, it slightly blocks your Wordbreaker, and it also makes it so when you actually cast your Glitter Claw, the mana accumulation that it does goes back into itself instead of into the Wordbreaker, which is the whole reason why, in most cases, you want to have your Glitter Claw in front of it. Because if you don't, you're going to be blocking it with your Glitter Claw. Because in order for it to cast, it has to lose all of its mana. Because anytime you cast, you lose all of its mana of your troop that you're casting. So in doing so, you're blocking the green from your Wordbreaker. Which generally you don't want to do, because the mana, once your Glitter Claw is already casted, it is a lot better value to have that green going into your Wordbreaker than it is going back into the Glitter Claw. Because the only thing your Glitter Claw is going to do is do a small poke that goes right back into fairy firing them again, which is good for keeping them fairy fired, though bad for overall damage. Let's see. Do your guild solve the communication? Or how do your guild solve the communication? We pretty much just do the normal guild-related chat. We don't really normally use Discord or anything. We have in the past, but we didn't make it mandatory, so it was really hard to communicate via Discord. So we kind of just stopped using Discord. I think some people still use it on occasion, but I know I stopped kind of using it, and most people from the guild did as well. So we kind of just used a normal guild chat, and it's been working pretty fine for us. We still communicate everything. The only thing I really wish the game had, specifically within the game itself, is private messaging to specific people, so that you can tell them about, you know, anything you need to privately message about within the game itself. Because the only ways to easily do that is, of course, yeah, Discord or the forum itself, or yeah, pretty much those locations for the most part. But yeah, there's no really good in-game method. They were planning on adding a friends list in the past, though they never got around to it. 4 times Queen Titania. I'm not gonna run 4 times Queen Titania. 4 times Queen Titania is it would win. It'd be very slow though. It'd be very, very slow. But it would technically win. She is that strong that you could just spam 4 of herself. Also, 1 or 2 extra turns would be fairy firing the entire enemy team. Probably 2, because it doesn't specifically target the right ones. But yeah, in 2 extra turns, we'd have the entire enemy turn fairy fired, which wouldn't take that long, that's for sure. Okay, we'll go throw the Ketris down. Or that long to fairy fire them, I mean. take long to win because you'd have to keep getting... He should be your only damage source, obviously. Because she's the only thing on your team. Excuse me. I'm not even drinking it and it's still making me do that. The apple cider. And also the only reason I really even have apple cider at the moment is because I've been... for Easter, I basically had like all Thanksgiving food. And one of my favorite things with it is apple cider. And I still have a bunch of it left because I got like one of those gigantic gallon things. Anyways. Hey, we broke 5,000. Actually, did we gain a level yet? Someone was talking about some kind of weird level glitch earlier. I'd assume they would have fixed it by now if it was occurring due to some kind of patch earlier today. What is with that? Double Kraken, interesting. Captain Skullbeard 3 times Titania? I guess we could go with that, sure. That would at least not be glacially slow. I guess we'll do that real quick for fun. Alright, we'll go through all that down. Oh, when exactly did I start playing streaming? I started playing basically when this game launched on Steam, which was November 2015? Yeah, November 2015. And, right? Not 14, 15. Yeah, it should be November 2015. Almost guarantee on that. But yeah, we started playing then. So basically since the game launched. I think I started like 5 days after it launched on Steam. Though it was operational about a month or two prior. Though 2 months prior it was only available in Australia. And 1 month prior it was only available on one mobile platform. I believe on Apple-related devices. So it wasn't on Android or anything like that. But yeah, but then they eventually got it to... the other mobile platforms. Well, first they got it to Steam, then they got it to the rest of the mobile platforms, then eventually they got it to console, and they haven't bothered going any further than that. The only thing that they're really not on at the moment is Nintendo devices, you know, like Switch and such. But yeah, maybe eventually. I don't think any Match 3 games are on Nintendo Switch, if I'm not mistaken. We'll go and... what was the other thing I was just mentioning? Oh yeah, when did I start streaming? Oh, was it 14? Oh yeah, you're correct. November 2014. It's not 2015. You're correct. That is probably correct. But yeah, so that means as far as when we started streaming on a daily basis about 1 year, 1.5 years ago or so. Pretty much around the time when Guild Wars got released, which was, well, about a year ago. So yeah, it has been about 1 year of daily streaming now. As far as streaming in general, we've been doing that for about 2 years or so now. Actually, as far as how long I've been doing YouTube, the 2-year anniversary, I believe, is in 14 days. I believe it's November. I believe it's April 20th, if I'm not mistaken. It's whatever the day that the spring thingy that I posted, where the spring imp came out. Whatever day that was. Let me go double check that real quick. I forget it off the top of my head. That's actually right around the corner, too. Let me see. That is like 2 weeks from now. I don't know if we'll be doing anything special. I should probably ask Salty when I ask for more codes, which I've already done actually, but hopefully she'll send more information. I mean, more codes. But I should ask her for more codes for the special event thingy. Anyways, what was I doing? I was going to go look up... oh, why am I doing it here? I'm doing it in such a weird way. There's something on the main screen of the YouTube thingy that caught my attention. Which is why I was talking weird for a second. It caught my attention for a second. Anyways, what was I looking for? I was looking to go into videos, click oldest, and it's not my oldest video that I've been doing YouTube since. I don't really count that as when I started YouTube. It's really inconsistent going based on the how old my account is. But yes, the technical start of when I consider the start of my YouTube is... Yeah, still doesn't say 2 years on it yet. Let me see. Let me freeze this. And there it is. April 23rd, 2016 was basically when I started YouTube on a regular basis. And basically when I considered the start of YouTube. Also, what did I sound like back then?
Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I will be going over the Spring is Sprung event.
Good times. Anyways, that was me 2 years ago. And that was basically the start of us doing this on a regular basis. But yeah, that was that. And we started streaming a few months after that. We started on Twitch originally, but Twitch gives you like 0 money whatsoever. So then I moved to YouTube. Of course, I still get barely any money from doing it on YouTube. But from Twitch, you get, like, literally 0, unless you become partnered and everything with them, other than donations, of course. But, yeah, it's definitely much better doing on YouTuber if you are a small YouTuber, that is for sure. I don't even think at this point I would even bother going back to Twitch, even once I do get bigger. Because I am pretty much the size now that I could attempt moving to Twitch, but I don't feel like I would actually want to do so. I kind of gotten already so used to YouTube, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys as well, who watch on a regular basis, have also gotten used to just watching on YouTube. So it wouldn't really make much sense to move. Let's see. Missing for hello? The old hello where it just is like ear piercing. That was back when I had the old mic too. That was one of the reasons why it was so ear piercing. If I even do the same thing on the current mic, it wouldn't even be as ear piercing as it currently is. Because it was just because of the bad mic quality at the time. Open all the seals to celebrate the 2-year anniversary. That would be pretty funny, but no, there's no way I could do that. Due to how valuable gems and everything are these days, I can't waste that many resources. There's no way I could ever just dump all my seals. That'd be way too many to dump at once. As I mentioned earlier, the amount of seals we actually have is enough to gain anywhere from 4 to 6 mythics. So that's like a half a year of mythics, pretty much, is how many seal keys we have just sitting there ready to go. And that's basically, at minimum, 4 months where we could just be accumulating gems without really ever losing any gems. Which means we could get quite a bit of, well, a pretty big gem stack when we actually start doing that. Because, of course, the way that most people actually use their keys is not what we do. Most people actually throw their seals every single time a new mythic comes out. I personally do not do that, though. Because, obviously, we've been saving them. And I wish they would confirm what on earth they're doing. Because, yeah, let's go break it down real quick. What's our current amount? Let's go divide that by 20 and then add 256 to it. So, let's go get this number. 8, 4, 5, 7, 6. Divide that by 20. Add 256. We have 4,485 seal keys. Or guild keys, whatever they're called. Haven't opened them for so long, don't even know what they're called. They're called seals, but they open guild keys, or guild chests, whatever. Anyways, we have 4,485 of them. All 100% of those 4,485 count as gem keys, because in the current format of the chest, I already have all the drops of the guild guardians, and once you do, you stop getting them as drops. So, yeah, that is a lot of keys. That is, again, it only normally, not like this week, but normally it takes about 1,000 guild, assuming guild maxed, guild / gem chests to be able to get a mythic. Should only take about 1,000 or so. So we have 4,500, meaning that's pretty solid 4 mythics right there, probably even more. So that is what we're likely going to be using them for in the future. Though, again, I want to wait until they actually do revamp this drop table or confirm with 100% accuracy that they're never touching this drop table, in which case, well, we could start using them. Or in either case, we could pretty much just start using them. If they're changing the drop table, well, then, well, we could go start using them for the new drop table. Otherwise, we can save them for mythics if they confirm they're never changing the drop table, but neither of which have been really hinted at, so for now, we keep accumulating them. Yeah, we almost have 5,000 of them. Actually, if you count all the orbs we have, we probably almost are right there already. If we go check like our like all of our orb value, because we have about 100 to 200 just sitting right here. If we go under, well, first we have all that too. That's another few of them. But we also have another what is that? 3,300. So what is that divided by 20? Math. How does it work? That is. What is that divided by 20? Let me just get a calculator. I'm definitely going to get that wrong. Divided by 20. So even right there, that's another 165. So what is that total then? That's like 4,700 is how many we have, counting absolutely everything. So yeah, we're really close to... we are very, very close to 5,000. And I think we have the most out of anyone in the entire game, because that's not really something you can get much quicker unless you're constantly buying a pack, so I highly doubt anyone's buying those on a regular basis. Maybe initially there were quite a few people, but these days almost no one is buying them, if at all. Yeah, we have a lot of chests. Well, we did have a lot of chests until we wasted them all earlier this morning trying to get the new mythic. Well, not really waste. Well, kind of waste. The new mythic definitely isn't worth how many resources we spend on it. But of course, because we show video content for it, I always want to make sure I get them. It's just sometimes we burn through way too many resources. Like, if I was to have my own account and wasn't doing videos, I would have by no means went that far with it. I would have stopped it probably at like 400 or 500 gem keys. And like, nope, not going any further. And then I would probably open like 50 VIP keys. And if I didn't get it then, I'm like, nope, we're definitely stopping. But because we actually have to go and get every single troop pretty much in order to, you know, show them, we sometimes overburn our resources just a little bit, like today. But yeah, we did do a team video in the key opening earlier. If neither any of you didn't see it, we posted it like right before the stream. About new patch, when coming, you know something? I know about some of the stuff in it, some of which I can't really mention, but most of it's not really too over the top. But as far as the actual patch dates, they do not have a confirmation on that yet. I believe they pretty much have everything situated, but they haven't have it sent in yet, or a few other small details. But my guess on it is probably mid to late April is approximately when next patch is coming. Though no official date has been given, and they do not know exactly when. But yeah, I assume mid to late April. And New Kingdom most likely mid-May. Though none of the dates I just said are even remotely confirmed. I'll go move that over. Go take that. And get an furnace down. You had to start all over because you forgot your old login from 2014. Brutal starting from square one. Actually, I don't mind starting from square one. This is a lot of fun starting from nothing. We've done it about 7 times. I don't know if you've ever seen any of our content that we've actually done for, but yeah, we've had like 3-4 Let's Play accounts now, and I've had at minimum 7 accounts overall that I would test smaller things on and just kind of mess around with stuff. But yeah, we've created a lot of accounts from scratch, and of course every additional account that we've ever created has been 100% free to play as well. Of course our main account isn't, but every other account we've ever created has been 100% free to play, and every single one so far has gotten at least 1 mythic. My very first one got War and Queen Aurora. My second one got oh, I actually forget which one I got. I want to say Queen Aurora and something else, so I actually completely forget. And our third one ended up getting Draculus, which is his only mythic, and the current one that we're kind of very slightly working on. And of course, these days you can actually craft them too off of Soulforge, just from playing dungeons daily. Dungeons take like no time at all. They take like 1-2 minutes, or actually more towards 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes. Very, very easy. I think we just lost. That's what I get for talking the whole time. Talk distractions. Oh wow, that actually went really well. Or at least the follow-up. Obviously not the battle, but the follow-up right there at least worked. We're about to die to Ragnagord. That is really sad. I don't think I have any way of extra turning this. Or at least not realistically extra turning it. I could try triple green. Come on, triple green! Nope, didn't get it. Oh, never mind. We only need double green. I didn't need triple because there was another green there. Or double green there, so I could have gotten a double-double. Or, you know, like an L-shaped thingy. Okay, we're dead. I need to get Ketris right now off a free turn. And there's currently no way to do that. So I guess we could try it for a red right here. Get that extra turn, go from there. And kind of just be on our way from there. Go for that. Didn't get it. That just dies out. So that is quite unfortunate. It's still winnable. We're actually 1 Ketris away from a win. Ooh, that helped out a lot. Okay. Oh, that helps out even more. Oh no, Elmagrim. Wait. It's not over yet. He gets the loop. Okay, good. He misses. I think we won. There we go. We won. That's enough damage. Well, that was a horrible battle, but we won. We got the result we wanted, though. Could have been a lot better. Was it Aurora and Elmagrim? Interesting. We got Aurora on both of them then, didn't we? I know we got 1 mythic on both of them. It had to have been Aurora then. Okay, so yeah, it was Aurora and War on the first one. It was Aurora and Elmagrim on the second one, and it was Draculus on the third one, which is the current one we're working on. But yeah, every account I've gotten so far has, a newer account I've gotten so far, has gotten a mythic before level 100. Actually, all of them have gotten it before, I believe, level 75. I don't know if that's lucky or just what, but yeah. I know some people say that they don't get their first mythic until like level 500. There's still some level 1000s that don't have it. But yeah, I've managed on 3 accounts now to have one before level 100. And like I said, before level 75. I think the earliest one was actually at level, like, what, 36 or something, was it? I know the most recent one was the earliest one yet. We got off of a event key. I was trying to get a Crimson Bat off of event keys, and then I got a Draculus. Which I guess is okay. But I actually would have preferred getting Crimson Bat, which is kind of funny that the first mythic was something I didn't even want. It's not that Draculus is bad. It's that earlier on in the game, it's actually better to use Crimson Bat. One really odd thing about Crimson Bat, when it's not fully leveled, is Crimson Bat at a lower level is actually stronger than a Draculus at a lower level. They both get the exact same end damage, but on their way as they're leveling up, Crimson Bat can maintain a lower level and still have higher damage, whereas Draculus doesn't get its full damage until later on it's leveling. It's kind of weird how that is. But yeah, Crimson, let's say, like, for example, a level 15 Crimson Bat has more damage than a level 15 Draculus, which is weird. Yet once both of them get all the way to level 20, they both have the same damage. I believe even at Legendary, there's still like a 1 damage discrepancy, where Crimson Bat has 1 higher damage than the Draculus, which is kind of weird, because you'd assume it'd be the other way around, with the Mythic kind of having it earlier or something. But nope, it's the Crimson Bat gets it first. If anyone else has any other questions or anything I missed, hey, Celestial Tristan, nice. Let me know, and we'll definitely make sure to go over it. Are you sure that level 6 skill chest equals gem keys chance? Yes, if and only if you have all the drops from it. Is it exactly like a gem chest? I don't think we have ever gotten a big enough data pool to know definitively 100% for sure. But from what the devs have said and from just general drops in, you know, just in general, it basically is the exact same as a gem key when fully maxed out and you have no other drops. But yeah, if you're opening them when you still have the other troops, they're only worth half a gem key. So let's say you have 40,000 seals in your guild, but you still don't have every guild guardian. They're basically only half a gem key, not a gem key, because half of your drops will always be the guild guardians. The reason why 100% of my drops, whenever we would open them, would end up being like a gem key is because we get 0% of the guardians since we already have them. To be able to have that occur, you have to have every single guild guardian at mythic, as well as 4 copies of each one of them. And until you reach that point, you will keep getting them. Even if you have all of them at like 50 copies of mythic, yet you still have one of them that hasn't reached it yet, that one will keep holding you back. It happened to me for a while. I think I have like 60 copies of one of them, yet I only have like 5 of another. Let's see. What do we even need here? Got like a weird sniffle going on. Hope I'm not catching something. A friend of mine got sick, but he's nowhere like near me, so that shouldn't have like any effect whatsoever on me. It's like being so empathetic that you become sick when someone tells you they got sick, yet they aren't even nowhere near where you live. I have had that happen to me before. I think it's more of just a mental thing, obviously, than anything else. Let's see. I also have a really bad habit. If anyone coughs in the same room or sneezes in the same room, I will have the urge to have to do so. Same as yawning. But those are kind of just natural instincts, kind of. Or at least with yawning it is. Not so much, I think, for coughing and sneezing. But it always happens. If someone sneezes, I'll feel the need to sneeze. And if someone coughs, especially with coughs, I'll definitely feel the need to cough. Okay. What do we need? We'll go throw that down. We need some silences here. So I'm going to make sure I hit this guy, because he's the only thing that can't be silenced on his team, since he's not blue. Please do HP. Exactly what we needed. Very nice. So that worked out as perfect as it really could have. Even got the extra turn and everything. What do we even need here? I guess we'll go move that over. Maybe take a skull or something like that. Oh, nope, it's a trap. It's a trap! He's not frozen either. Actually, we could freeze him with a Skady. Oh, never mind, he's frozen, but he's not frozen on green, which is relevant. Well, we'll go throw this down, I guess. Now he's frozen. Oh, but he gives it to us anyways. So we'll go move that over. Throw this down for some damage on, well, I guess you. Just so we can double kill that off the Corvash. And then just go for the wipe. Let's see you, Exos. Have a wonderful evening as well. Have a good weekend. I'll see you later. Hey, he's level 1, 2, 3, 4. I remember when we had that for like 2 days. Doesn't last that long. We gain about, I think, 2 or 3 levels a week on average. Depends. It depends if we're farming gnomes or anything like that. If we're not farming gnomes and stuff, obviously goes quite a bit slower because I'm not specifically trying to level. Of course, when we're trying to find gnomes, we're not specifically trying to level either. It just happens to be a good activity that also gives you leveling. What is the redeem code? The redeem code is below. You use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. I think it might already be depleted at this point. But, yeah, it just gives a small amount of resources. It gives 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold, and 2 treasure maps. Only works on the PC and mobile version of the game. But yeah, you just use it on their website. Gives you a small amount of resources. Nothing really too huge, but we give them out on some of our streams. Unfortunately, we have ran out of them for a little while. Though hopefully Salty will be giving us some more on Monday. Otherwise, I'm going to have to keep bothering her until she does. But yeah, we'll see. I already asked her last Monday, and she still hasn't given them. But she sometimes forgets and has other things on her schedule. And just completely forgets about it, so I just have to keep reminding her. Okay, we'll go and we'll move that down, get our extra turn. There, I need to start asking both Syrup and Salty, maybe. Because maybe there'll be instances where she's busy, but the other one's not. Or one of them's busy, but the other one isn't, I mean. Alright, we'll go and throw that right in the middle. Get our nice little splits. Maybe get some skull in there, get a world breaker, and we'll pretty much be good to go. Go grab. Oh, I should have casted that! Could have already won the previous turn. Well, Infernus will also do it, so I guess it still works out. Can you do... Oh, wait, I never did that one team that was suggested. The one with the Queen Titanias and the Skullbeard guy. Let me go do that. Oh, never mind. There's JZG just mentioning it too. I didn't even see you mention that. Again. Let me just go clear this out real quick and then we'll go do that team. Obviously, I don't want to miss out on 4 times Firebomb, and it wouldn't make much sense to throw it against 4 times Firebomb because that's not a real team. But yeah, we'll go do it after this battle. I shouldn't forget this time. I don't think I will. Can I do an okay team for Green Day for Guild Wars with 0 mythics? Let's see. You would definitely need Dark Maiden. You'd probably want Glitter Claw, if you have it. Christinexes also work very well. Oh yeah, how many Christinexes do you have? One really funny team you can build is as many Christinexes as you have, plus random troops to fill out the rest, like Dark Maidens and stuff like that. But 4 times Christinex is a legitimate team if you have it laying around anywheres. I don't know if you even have a single Christinex, but if you do have multiple, it is surprisingly well fully traded. For a while during Guild Wars, we actually ran for both Blue and Green Day for a little while. We ran 4 times Christinex. One other pretty nice option, which I haven't shown much recently, though I don't know if you have it, happen to have it. But Giant Spider with Kraken is amazing in Green Guild War Day. I haven't personally been using it much, as I mentioned, but it is really potent. Definitely worth considering for sure. Very nice. Let's see, Vinoxia, Sylvania Moore, Glitter Claw, Worldbreaker. Well, that uses a mythic. But yeah, we'll go do that team. Oh, did you mention that earlier? I think you suggested that earlier. Yeah, you even said the 3rd time. Yeah, I'll go do that then. So let me go do the first one that was mentioned, then we'll go do yours. And then we'll get both of those done. So let me go into the Queen Titania team and go put all this here. Queen T. Oops, that's not how you space it out. Boom, boom. There we go. So Queen Titania, oh wow, we actually do have enough copies to do this. For a second I thought we wouldn't have enough. And what was the other troop we needed? A Skullbeard, I believe, was suggested. And we'll go do this just for fun, as mentioned, and then we'll go do the other one, which is a little bit more of a serious team. You know what? I think we just go all in on Skullbeard. Is there a +2, +1, -1? I believe there is off of green minus. I mean, not a green minus, a yellow minus. It's Leonis Empire or something. Oh no, Leonis Empire was... It had plus on it. What was its minus then? I could have sworn that there's a minus yellow that has blue-green. No. That was the banner I was thinking of. Oh, there it is. That's the banner I'm thinking of. +2 blue, +1 green, -1 yellow. There it is. Not the one I thought it was, but I knew one existed. There it is. Okay. Okay, so right off the bat, we're definitely going to want to make sure we go get, what's his name up? The Skullbeard. So we'll go take a green to a green to a brown, I mean to a purple. Green to purple. Go grab herself a blue. No surges, so we didn't actually get the full mana there. We'll go grab that. And now we start getting explosions for ourselves. As well as some skulls, though that's pretty irrelevant, the skull aspect of it. We don't have any way to really create a lot of red, so we just have to hope we get lucky off the board. Actually, we just got lucky. Oh no, he removed red! But he's about to put more red on the board, so that will be helpful. So I'm actually going to go cast this. He'll go do that. He gets the kill, so that's the main reason why I wanted to cast it so immediately. Let me go move that over. He has so many things immune to Fairy Fire. This was a bad idea to try throwing against this specific team. Wow. Almost his entire team is Fairy Fire immune. So it's weird how skulls don't actually get aligned when you do that. If you do it like that and they get aligned during the explosion, they don't actually trigger. Only if they occur after the fact do they trigger the skulls. Or if they were unrelated to the explosion area, they also trigger immediately. But we'll go and throw that down in this match. Could have gone a lot smoother if we actually could Fairy Fire them, but oh well. And it goes still. I guess we technically would have killed them all at the same time because the one that was Fairy Fire didn't even die immediately. Anyways, let me go try the other team that was suggested. Before I do, let me go throw the, because it's a semi-loop team, let me go throw a standard blue against this real quick, just so we don't have to deal with this, and then we'll go into your team, just so it doesn't have to deal with the counter that has. Also, it gives us an excuse to use the new mythic for something. But yeah, this new mythic is definitely very underwhelming. It's even more underwhelming than the underwhelming that I thought it was. What we'll go... What do we even need here? Go take a... It does have potential in the future, though. But at the current moment, it's definitely... Could use some... I wouldn't say rebalance, but it needs things to actually be used with. There's really few synergies that are viable. But we'll see how it works on Blue Day. We'll give it a shot, maybe on 3 weeks from now, when we can finally do a Blue Guild War Day. Because that's forever from now, due to how Guild Wars is set up, and the fact that we just had Blue Day literally yesterday. I might have no way of getting to Queen Mab. That's weird. Why does it do it for so long? Some of the things, when it hits that, it just stays there forever. Well, you know, not forever, but very long duration. Go grab that down to get all the cascades. Mainly did it for the blue, of course, so we got everything else with the byproduct. I can silence him right now, so let me go do exactly that. Go aim it at that so we get the kill, or at least keep damaging it. But yeah, this team actually works surprisingly well. If nothing else, at least against specifically this lineup. So at least has one purpose. I can get rid of this really annoying lineup. Maybe it'll start being used less. Highly doubt it, but at least it works against it, if nothing else. Oh, I didn't get the HP reduction I needed. I'm going to re-silence, though. Oh, he oh, luckily this thing has immune to silence, but still. Okay, Corvash, do we need you? Can we get you? Doesn't look like it. So go throw that down. Get our double kill. What else do we need? Probably Corvash. Let's follow up. Okay, we'll take a brown just because I need some of that mana. Like the blue that we get from it from the Cascade, and I don't want him taking it. So we'll take a Skull, throw the Corvash. Not enough damage to kill, though. But we'll work it from there. Go and see if we can throw that Corvash down. Well, we obviously can. Let's see if we can. No, we definitely can. We'll go move that. Take a purple to the red. Get a little bit of manas. Really need the skulls and the rest of our mana, though, so we'll do that. Might as well just have a skull fight at this point. Unless we can get both of their manas up, which I guess might be quicker. Hard to tell at this point. Oh, why'd I give it blue? Here, Queen Mab, have all the blues. Luckily, it's silenced at the moment, so that's not really an issue, but still. Not the greatest idea to be giving Queen Mab blue. Well, I guess in that case it's somewhat good, because if she was to get full mana, that'd be less blues on the board that she could possibly extra turn off of. Also, hello, Danny! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. What would I say is the best healer card? Depends what you kind of consider as heal, quote unquote. Also, let me go do this other team before I forget it, because I know I'll forget if I don't do it right now. Let's see, let me go put this all in on the suggested team slot. So we need a Vinoxia. That is not how you spell Vinoxia. We need a Sylvania Mora. Wait, is this actually pure dragon with no hero class? Glitter Claw, it is. Interesting. Though personally, I put the Glitter Claw behind the Ward Breaker. You already have blues going into it quite easily. You have not only something that generates blues, but you have the Ward Breaker doing it as well. Or not creating blues, but, you know, exploding them. I think I've done something similar to this before with a Vinoxia Ward Breaker Glitter Claw. I don't think we used Sylvania Mora, though. I think we were using some kind of other utility troop. I think it was Hero with something. I don't remember what it was. Might have just been hero with Mountain Crusher. Oh, this is actually Green Guild War Day. Interesting. Hey, we were talking about this earlier too. I was mentioning like I was doing 4 times red. Wow, that was like half an hour ago. Have I really delayed this team for half an hour? Wow. My bad. Wow. Okay. Anyways, what banner? What banner do you set, or do you not set a banner? Well, you set no banner at all. Could you imagine if you get out to do that? I actually don't know what banner we need, to be honest. I almost want to go into Word Breaker and do a minus brown, +2 red, +1 yellow. Out of everything we need mana for, that's probably one of the biggest things we need mana for is our Word Breaker. I don't really need the additional green. I guess that would be helpful to get a Venoxia looping. So we really have 2 options. Either double green or dragon banner seem to be the best 2 options. Or if there's another +2 green banner that I'm forgetting of, would also work as an option. Okay, we'll move that over. Move that over. Take the purple. Throw a yellow to red. And another yellow. Perfect. Might as well get him the full mana at this point. That's why we have the banner set to him. Might as well utilize it. Okay, let's get a Venoxia down. Please don't miss. Nice. Now we get the Glitter Claw and the extra turn, and now we're good to go. And now we pretty much just auto-win. And now we just keep looping between these 2. Ideally. Let's throw this down. Come on, full mana. We need you. There we go. Grab that into the convert. That will always fill up our Word Breaker, or assuming it has alignment. And down it goes. Yep, that works quite well. I don't think we really need something anymore, though. But I guess it's for the Entangle, just to make sure you take less damage, so you gain more score. So I guess that's the main reason you're using it, I would assume. Is there a good strategy for treasure maps? If you have a lot of them, spam them as quickly as possible. Other than that, make sure to take... try to take as many 5 times as possible. Try to not take too many of the 4 times and specifically focus on 5 times because you net gain more that way if you can set them up properly. Other than that, make sure to always remove small resources from the bottom. Make sure to basically always be taking resources from the bottom. You always want to be working the bottom and making sure it's nice and neat and organized so that you don't accidentally get clogged on the bottom. Because once you start getting clogged on the bottom, you get less board to work with. And the less board you have to work with, like the least rows you have, the harder it'll be to win out the map easily, or, you know, get a lot of turns. But no, the most efficient way of really doing it, if you have like 1,000+ maps or just more than you ever know what to do with, is basically to spam them as quickly as possible, taking the first move you see every single time. And that's pretty much the entirety of maps. If you can make it a slightly better move, then sure, but just whatever your first thing you see is, just take it, and it doesn't really matter. And keep doing that until you get all your maps done, or at least as many as you need for the event thingy. Because between the repeat button and the fact that they 4 times speed, it has made it to the point where it is better just to rush through them than it is to try to think out every single move. And with that, it's, yeah, just way better to do it this way. Obviously, you won't be hitting like volts or anything like that doing this. You're not going to hit like any kind of ridiculous score. But it will give you the most amount of points per, or the most amount of resources per hour, as well as the most amount of event gems per hour. Since that doing it at this rate is pretty quick. You're basically getting an event gem every, like, I want to say 20 seconds or so? Somewhere around there. If you could take one move every 2 seconds or so. That would be 1 every 20 seconds. It really just depends on how much you're paying attention and how quick your reactions are. Also, for not doing... I'm not even trying to do this map and we just got a red chest. It's seriously really weird sometimes. I know there's some skill related to this, and it definitely is a skill-based minigame. But there is so much luck that can also come in this particular minigame. Look at that. Could you imagine if we vaulted just from taking random things off the board? We're actually really ridiculously close. We got 2 red chests. Oh, gosh. But anyways, that's why it wouldn't let me skip, but come on, there we go. But yeah, you can just click the repeat button. It takes about a minute per map. That one went a little bit longer, though, than what a normal map does, because it got pretty lucky, actually, as you kind of saw. But, yeah, this is pretty much the most efficient way of doing it. And you just do this until you have 250 event gems, and then never play them again. No. But, you know, once you've claimed the rewards, it's not really worth... once you claim the event-related rewards for when it's a treasure hunt event, it's not really worth to continue doing treasure hunt, unless you're a newer player. But if you're a late-game player, the resources that you get from this minigame isn't really worth it at that point. But it's definitely worth it prior to completing out the event objectives. because I believe we're getting like 80 gems, 8 glory keys, 8 gem keys, 3 copies of Tyree. There's a lot of good stuff to get this week, that's for sure. Also, if you don't have any maps, don't forget, you can just spam Tyree a bunch of times. Really easy to get a lot of maps with her. I've done a couple videos covering her in the past. If you just check any of those out. If you just type in like Gems of War, map farming, you'd find easily one of the two. Both of them go over the same strategy. The more recent one is just more updated to the... actually, I don't think it really had any difference. There was some slight difference, a change that I did with it, but it wasn't like anything too important. They both basically go over the same thing. It's pretty much you use... if you happen to have it, Green Seer, Giant Spider, Double Tyree, and you pretty much just spam that out. And if you don't have that, you go Frozen Banner using Siren, Goblin, Shaman, Siren, and Tyree. And you do that in first challenge, Divinian Fields. I mean, no, sorry, my bad. You do it in the, I think, third or fourth challenge in Broken Spire. Because that has a Fortress Gate there in first slot. There's 2 of them with a Fortress Gate in first slot, but the first one of the 2 is the better one. Because it's a weaker team overall. Hello, Amber! Welcome. Glad you could join us again. Yeah, if you still need any help with like map strategy, just let me know. But yeah, it's pretty much just make sure you don't have any congestion at the bottom. Make sure to always take from the bottom in general. Make sure to condense your larger resources. Unless you're getting close to the end of the map, in which case you don't want to do it. The main reason you don't want to condense your resources when you're getting near the end is because doing so will actually reduce the amount of points you get overall, which is kind of weird that that is the case. But yeah, if you do it right at the end and you convert, let's say, like 3 green chests into a red chest, you're net going to gain actually less resources than you would have from actually keeping them all as their normal chest thingy. So do keep that in mind, because even though they're like a bigger loot thing, the individual components of what builds every single one of the better rewards is normally less than the actual rewards. Like, for example, if you combine 3 of any resource into one bigger resource, that one bigger resource is obviously more resources, but it's less resources than the 3 resources that you build it into. So 3 red chests are always more valuable than 1 vault key or 1 vault chest. 3 green chests is always more valuable than 1 red chest, so on and so forth. So do keep that in mind. Unless you're specifically trying for those keys. That would be the only slight exception to that. But then again, since these things give glory, you could just throw that into glory keys, and the gems into gem keys. And that is one way that you can use your resources too, particularly earlier on in the game. Play treasure hunt. All the gold you throw into gold keys. All the souls you just use for normal soul stuff. All of the glory you throw into glory keys. And all the gems you throw into gem keys, and do it down that way. It's a nice way of kind of gaining a nice mix of keys. Really wish there was another method within the game that could do that other than treasure hunt, because treasure hunt, as I mentioned many times, isn't really that good, at least for later in the game. Yeah, it would be cool if they actually added a way. It's really hard to farm specific copies of troops, and technically treasure hunt's the closest you can get to doing that in the game. The problem is treasure hunt's not really that good at doing that, so even though it's the best at doing it, it still isn't even that good at doing it, so kind of defeats that purpose there, at least later in the game. Okay, we'll go move that down. Grab all that. Wow, we would get like 3-5 times in a row when we barely even need it there. But actually, we have 15 turns. Gosh, that's actually going pretty well for random moves once again. I'm going a little bit slower though. I think it's because I'm playing too many maps in a row. Gotta give it a small break. But yeah, we'll stop it after this one. I do have a lot of testing I want to do with this tomorrow on treasure hunts. Stuff that I haven't tested yet, like I mentioned, like testing at minimum an hour of it to see what the hourly rate is. I want to do that actually several times. Not sure if I'll get all several times done tomorrow, but definitely something I want to experiment with, because I have yet to time treasure hunts since they added the repeat button. So it would be good to get data on it, because I do not know how much quicker that actually makes it. All I know is that you can definitely win 1 map per minute now with the extra things. Also, I need to find... Does anyone know how you have to click in order to consistently skip past that screen? Because sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't for me. I don't know why. The screen at the end of treasure hunt, is anyone aware of how to 100% chance skip it immediately? Because I keep having an issue whenever I do that it doesn't let me skip it, which is annoying because that wastes around like 2 seconds or so, 2 to 3 seconds, maybe even more than that. but that definitely adds up over an hour. That's like 2 or 3 minutes loss. So it's definitely relevant for doing an hour-long thing. What do we even need to move there? Move that, move a gold. Grab all that, take some of that, go on that one, take that, sure, move all that down, move into another one, take some gold, take the silver coin, take everything! That's the only slight bad thing about these things too. I never know what to commentate for them. Like right there it did it. Like doing it like that. I don't know what makes it work. But it does. Sometimes and sometimes doesn't. It's weird. Anyways, we're almost up to 6,000 gems. We've almost repaired a very small portion of our gems. I don't know what number I was going to say there. But yeah, we're almost at 6,000. So we net lost a little over 4,000 gems today. Not even counting all the gem keys and everything too. Actually, how much did we lose? We opened about 500. Let's see. I didn't even calculate that out yet. Let's see. How much resources did we lose? It was about 850 times 9, because that's how many gem keys cost. So 7,650. Then 2,250 twice. So 2,250. Do that again. We, today, on the previous gem opening video, we spent around 12,150 gem worth of resources. That is how many resources it cost us to get one Undine. That is way below the average curve, though, by like a really large margin. That is extremely unlucky. But yeah, it costs 12,150 gem worth of resources. And that's the low end. If you do it on like the high end, it's like 13,000 plus, 14,000 plus. That is a lot. That is definitely a lot. Also, to show how bad purchases are in this game, in order to buy that many gems with our current VIP bonus, let's see, we get 1,950 per 99. Let's see how bad it is to actually buy stuff in this game. Let's divide this by 1,950 and then times that by 100. Right? No, 99. Oh yeah, it's 100. It's 9999, trying to make it look like a smaller number. Because for any of you that don't know, having 99 at the end of anything makes it easier to sell. The only instance this is not viable is flea marketing. But in anything online or in stores normally, it is a really good idea to have your thing set with 99 at the end, because it makes it look like a it makes it look more worth it, basically. Anyways, let me go times this by 100. Why does that number not look realistic? Maybe it's because I keep forgetting how much everything actually costs in this game if you were to actually spend money on it. But it would cost $623 for how much it took us to get Undine. If we were to buy all of the gems, it would have cost us $623. That is insanely overpriced. Though, of course, it cost us literally none because we got it all from other means free within the game itself. So yeah, it didn't even cost us anything. But yeah, $623 worth of gems. And that's the low estimate of it. It's probably more like 700. Anyways, that's that. Let's go and use our $623 troop on that. I would value him at like $10 at most. If even that. Actually, if I legitimately had the choice to buy him for $10, I'd probably pass. We'll go and throw that. There are things I would probably buy for $10 though. Boardbreaker I'd buy for $10. Elmagrim. Maybe even Dragon Soul, though. Dragon Soul costs $50 if he ever is in a purchase, though he comes with a lot of other stuff. In cases like that, there are some instances where buying some legends is somewhat worth the $50 cost it has. It is somewhat justifiable, just because it does come with some resources, and the troop itself is sometimes really desired, like Dragon Soul. Actually, isn't Dragon Soul craftable this week, or was it last week? Because definitely craft if it is. Really, really great troop to have early on in the game. Yeah. Let's see. Not looking for a change unless you get kicked or something. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I know. That is a very sickening amount of gems to use. Though I have no choice. We have to get it. We have to keep opening until we get it every time. Well, we don't have to, but there has yet to be one... ever since I started doing content for this game, there has yet to be one troop that I haven't gotten upon its release. The only exception to this ever is going to be Zugoff, whatever his name is. I keep forgetting his name. The main reason for this is literally 0 people currently have him, And even as people are starting to get him, I will not be anywhere close. I am around 1 year away from getting a Zukov. That is how far we are away from it. Realistically, I don't think many people are doing it because it's highway robbery how much he costs, as far as like the amount of resources cumulatively that you would actually need. But yeah, it's not worth it, to say the least. Okay, we'll go and I guess we'll just get a Corvash down and go from there. You got to click on one of the chest coins on the board. What is a decent plague team? A decent plague team is a team with no plague in it. Is one of the most decent plague teams. As far as actual teams with him, he's mainly only used on defend. In cases where he's used more often with like humility or something like that. It's very common with Azura and other similar troops. Humility, it's nice because you can buff it up into very high magic reduction. And basically the whole premise of a plague, and the main reason you would ever use him in a team, is to try to lower out the enemy stats to the point where you would automatically win because they have no way of damaging you. This is a really hard strategy to pull off and is only really viable for defend. Not because it doesn't work in invade, but because it takes so ridiculously long to do that it's never worth doing an invade. There isn't a single invade team you would ever run it in unless you're doing a 4 times impervious team for whatever reason. But that's the only team you ever get to use it with invade-wise. So as far as Plague, yeah, I would not really bother with them. Very occasionally as like a last slot, you may put him in on some teams just as a impervious and a small disable onto your main team or something. But more often than not, you do want to avoid using him. He is a very slow troop. He can help you win a little bit easier, but he is very bad at winning quickly. And maybe occasionally for Guild Wars on some days where you don't have a slot to put in. But ever since Azura came in, he's basically been useless because Azura basically does the same thing as him, but better. It doesn't have the disease or any impervious or anything, but it has mana generation. It has more stat reduction because of how much mana generation it gets. It normally, or initially has lower, but due to how spammy it is, it technically does more. It has Dispel, and it's just, overall, Azura in general is way better than a Plague, even though Plague is a mythic and Azura is an epic that you get for free from Merlantis. It's actually, at this current moment in time, arguably the strongest free epic you can get. Most of the epics that you get from Kingdoms are completely useless, but there are a few instances where they are actually amazingly good. And Merlantis and Rowan and Forest of Thorns are the 2 biggest contenders for the best free mythic that you can get within the game. Merlantis gives Azura, which is a really good mana generator, one of the best dispels, and just a great troop in general, as well as one of the best stat reducers. And Forest of Thorns has Rowan, which is a troop that boosts based on its armor. And you see me using it a lot whenever I do like explore and stuff. Even this late in the game, it's still very, very good for that. Works well once you have like a lot of armor kingdoms because you can utilize the extra armor buffs you get and just do pretty ridiculous amounts of damage because it's a 2 times boost ratio. Out of everything that the split AoE, she actually has the highest damage out of anything in the entire game, especially if you can get some armor buffing. And we didn't even use Rowan in that case, but of course Sunbird similarly is also great. Also, I just can't get away from this. Every time I go to explore to show something for like 1 battle, I get a arcane traits done. I've been getting really good luck on that. I think about 1/4 the time. It's like a 1 in 16 drop, yet about 1/4 the time I will end up getting a arcane trait stone from it. We get really lucky in that regard. Whenever I need an arcane trait stone, I should just go and do 1 single battle, like once a day, and we'll just get an arcane every single time, it feels like. Anyways, he's using a soul farming team for whatever reason. Not sure. I think he accidentally set it as his defend, because that's not something you would defend with. Really strange team to defend with. Oh, it might be someone thinking that you can get resources on your defend. One thing to note is that you gain no resources from your troops when they're defending. Or I shouldn't say that. There's 2 things that you get. If they manually move a move and they get a gold key, you will get that gold key. And if they do a 7 times cascade, it will give you 1 gem. Normally a 7 times cascade will give you 1 map. But the 1 gem is kind of left over from old mechanic that used to be in the game where 7 times cascade would give you 1 gem. Nowadays, of course, as I said, it gives you 1 map. But for whatever reason, during your defense, it still acts as 1 gem instead. So the mechanic's still in the game, but it only occurs when your AI team does it, not when you do it. Which is unfortunate, because when you do it now, you only get 1 useless map. And most people cannot use all of their maps. It would take forever. Even if we were to spend months at it, we would probably not be done with it. The next meta gave you 2 black eyes today. How? Is there a good green counter to Nyx? Well, for one, you don't want to accidentally spam too many greens onto the board, because that would be a bad idea. Using a green team that doesn't need greens would probably be your best bet. By that, I mean a green team that takes manas that aren't green in order to function. So things like Dark Maiden and such. Troops that aren't specifically lucking for those greens. Yagwe is also another pretty decent example of it, though they're both the same color now, aren't they? Unfortunately. But troops that are green that don't need green on the board are things that you should use against the Nyx. As far as a proper team, I normally just use my standard green teams, so I don't really know anything that you'd be able to fix into it. One big issue with green is Nyx teams are normally used with Queen Mab, and greens have almost 0 immune to freezes on it, which makes for quite a bad time. Of course, you could use Diviner and stuff and other cleanses off of green that have a... oh, never mind, she does... Yeah, she uses green. That have a cleanse option, same as Mercy and such, which could be viable options for you, particularly fully traded Mercy and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Nyx is a really hard troop to counter. It's still very, very strong. But yeah, having things with immune to mana drain and stuff like that, and maybe immune to freeze, because of course it's probably using Queen Map on the team, are about your best bets to really work around it. New raid troop summons Undead. Which Undead are worth the souls and stones in case they are summoned? Almost none of them. Fair Shra, and that's about it. There's a few other niche instances where Undeads are somewhat okay, but for the most part, there are very, very, very few viable Undead. That is not how you search for Undead. Let me see, move that. Go there, apply filter. Okay. Decent Undeads. Astral Spirit. Azurus in the context of soul farming. Bone Dragon very, very, very occasionally. Captain Skullbeard. Crimson Bat. Death. Draculus. Keeper of Souls. Fairish Ra, the best undead of them all. Skeleton under some circumstances. Umbra Wolf. White under some circumstances, mainly for souls. I guess similarly, you could consider Banshee under that category. Wraith used to be a lot better, but still decent. And that's it. So barely any. That leaves almost none. That's like 5 of them then. If even that. There's a very few undead. It's one of the reasons why Xenos is so ridiculously bad. There are no good undeads. Or very, very, very few. So, yeah. Not much to really use, unfortunately. Not much at all. Oh, I asked how to skip the screen in Treasure Hunt. To speed it up. You have to click on an item on the board to skip it. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Okay, so I must have been sometimes clicking just randomly on nothing. But you have to specifically click on an item. Let me go test that then. I'm kind of curious. Thank you for that. That makes sense. And I was wondering what you were referring to with that. Because I didn't realize you meant it in the context of Treasure Hunt. That makes a lot more context. That makes a lot more sense now, under that context. Okay, so let's go test it here. Let's end this map as quickly as possible. Just go check real quick. As I say that, we're taking it 5 times. Oh no, it moved my move. It moved my move. I'll go grab that. Take that down. Move that one over. Take that one. That. Move that over. Go for that one. Take that. Take that. Well, go move that one. The other one. Take that. Gold. Sure, we'll go form that into a thing. I know I said not to do that, but oh well. And that's that. Oops, not over yet. And we'll move that one over. Okay, you are correct. Yes, if you spam click a certain resource, it'll skip it. Aha, thank you for that. Apparently, I was just randomly clicking at a random location, which I assumed would work, but apparently, no. You have to specifically make sure you click on a resource to make it work. Well, interesting. Well, thank you for that. Now we know, which is going to be good for tomorrow, for when we actually go and do that for an extensive amount of time, or at least an hour. By extensive amount of time, I mean at least 1 hour. I might test it for 2 hours, though it depends. I don't know how much treasure hunt I could handle. Let's see. Tacet, the over-explainer of mispronunciations. I do over-explain some things, but that's just because I'm trying to be descriptive, and it happens sometimes. I don't know, there's just some questions that I tend to get into better detail than others sometimes. What is a good team with Umberwolf for early game? Basically none, because if you don't have a fully traded, Umberwolf is absolutely useless. So there's no point in using Umberwolf as a newer player, for the most part. But yeah, I wouldn't really bother with it. You'd be much better using, get better value out of using Werewolf into Villager than you would using Umberwolf into the other two things that it transforms into. It's not particularly good when it's constantly transforming. The whole reason Umberwolf's even used in the first place, and whenever you hear me saying him in a team, he's used almost exclusively for his Perpetual Purple Storm, and for no other reason other than his Perpetual Purple Storm. That's like the entirety of the troop. That's 90% of the troop right there is just his Storm, and almost the only thing I ever bother using him for. Every other mechanic about him is pretty much useless for, or at least for later in the game anyways, and well, pretty much throughout the entire game, because as I mentioned, you can get better value out of just doing Villager Werewolf, because it spams a lot easier between the two than what, than through the three forms of the, Umberwolf. I mean, yeah, that's right. Anyways, I'm gonna go test the other team that was mentioned. Talon Banner with a Forest Guardian, Yasmin, Glitter Claw, Queen Aurora. Isn't that what we're running on our team? Pretty sure it is. That's our other green team that we have set up. We should have it saved right here, exactly as is. Maybe a different banner, though. Yeah, you said Talon Banner. Let's see. Talon Banner, Forest Guardian, check. Yasmin, check. Glitter Claw, check. Queen Aurora, check. So yeah, it's the exact same team, except I have it in a slightly different order. I guess we'll try it in that order. Yeah, it's the exact same team. I have it on a different banner, though. Let's see, what's Talon Banner? Which banner is Talon Banner? Talon. Minus blue. So, +2... Oh no, I think I'd rather have the +1 on Yasmin. Well, I guess that gets Queen Aurora up better. Yeah, I guess we'll switch it. Why not? They're both very similar, though. We'll go for that. Pretty similar effect either way. Alright, move that over. Get a Forest Guardian down, if we can. No, we cannot. Why does it always feel like Yasmin gets such great alignments, yet you use something that's pretty much the same concept of Yasmin? Yeah, I mean, not Yasmin. I mean, why does it always seem like Yasmin's not... Why does it always seem like the Divine Ishbala always gets such great alignments? Yeah, it's no different than any other troop of the similar concept. It's really strange. Speaking about great alignments, what on earth was that turd? Alright, we'll do this on green. Hopefully it doesn't miss. Try getting a Glitter Claw down. Got it. Nice. Get another Yasmin down. Get another Yasmin down. Get all the Yasmin down. Okay, we'll go and... do we even have a convert here? I do not believe we do, so we'll just go and get ourselves into some standard greens here. See if we can get a Yasmin and all that. Get another Yasmin down. Oh, never mind. We already won. There we go. Perfect. And there we go. Yeah, it works out quite decently. Please try Forest Troll, Apothecary, Yasmin, and Famine. Sure, I don't see why not. If anyone else has any other suggestions or questions, let me know. Okay, let me go put us all into a team. Forest Troll, Apothecary. I haven't used a Forest Troll Apothecary combo for a while, but they do loop between each other. And it has a cleanse too, which is nice. Yasmin and Famine. It's not pure color though, is it? Unfortunately, no. It's not pure color for any day. It's close to 2 days, green and brown, but not completely. Wait, was a banner suggested? Let me see. No banner was suggested. What do we even need then? I almost feel like going into some kind of blue banner. Well, then again, we need at least a +1 for our Apothecary. We're going to be green looping anyways. So a green-brown actually wouldn't be horrible. I don't think there's a +2/+1 that works in that category. Well, what are we missing? We're missing red. Is there a -1 red banner that has green in it? Because that would be exactly what we would need then. Minus red banner with any amount of green. And I don't think that exists as of currently. No, unless I missed it. But yeah, I don't think that exists. So with that being said, let's just do a brown-green then. +2 brown of some kind would also work. Some kind of banner like that. But I want to have the +1 for Apothecary just in case, so we can 2-turn her. If needed. So we'll go throw that down. I was going to say, if that would have missed, that would have been a fail. And now we just Yasmin until we win. Or until we run out of mana. And now we get it going again. Throw that down. Get Yasmin going back. And if they get even a little bit of mana from us missing or something like that, we can easily just go and start doing the famine to get them all away. I should probably go throw a blank, or not blank famine, but at least go throw a famine here. Just to kind of get that mana away, just in case they do, in case we do lose our turn like that. Because now he gets that, and I can't do anything about it. And that. Okay. Well, I guess we famine now, because, again, I don't want him doing that. We'll get rid of his mana generator. I mean, his summoner. What do we need? Oh, I do not want to get rid of green. That would be the last thing we'd ever want to remove from this board. So we'll just take a standard green. And we'll take the last little bit of our mana. That'll be the full, and then we can kind of just progress from there. So we'll go take ourselves a... oh, I guess we'll take a brown. Why not? I don't think we had Apothecary alignment. If we did, whoops. Okay, we'll go move that over. Actually, probably should... that should have been the moment we took the brown. Could have gotten it to leak into all three. But it won't matter. That's match. And down it goes. You're running Alchemist, Moneylender, Sunbird with Flame Troll. You'd probably want to replace out Flame Troll. Instead of Yogwei. Currently, is there a better option with this team? Yes, you need a second damage source. I would say Goblin Rocket would work out pretty well. I normally suggest that just because it's really board control, really easy to obtain, only needs the first trait, and it's great practice as well for just standard board control movement because there's not as much of a consequence to using a Goblin Rocket because it automatically has the extra turn. Not only that, but it allows you to do a few more board tricks than what you would normally be able to do from a standard single explosion. But yeah, if you switch out Apothecary for Ragnagord in that previous team, or the team we just used, yes, that would work. And for the team that was mentioned just there, you'd want to replace out the Flame Troll for, like I said, a Goblin Rocket, or really any damage source that's related to those colors. It doesn't have to be Goblin Rocket. I know I tend to suggest that almost every single time, but it definitely doesn't have to be that. It's just, it's a cheap option that pretty much everyone has, which is why. But basically any damage source that's related to red and or yellow would work sufficiently. It's just you need more than just Sunbird as your only damage. It's Sunbird's good damage. It should never be your only damage, though. Unless you're running Explore. That's the only time you could get away with it. You know, like in those really easy battles. But if you're running in PvP, you definitely do not want Sunbird being your only damage. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading off for now. Throat's starting to get a little bit sore from actually talking so much. I think that's slightly because I haven't been drinking enough, but still. I'll be back later tonight in 6.5 hours from now. And we'll be going over the Guild Wars for the night. I believe today is a green day. Actually, that would explain why everyone's asking for green teams. That would make sense. But yeah, today is a green day. So we'll probably be messing around with a few different teams. Seeing what we can kind of do. Oh, we'll just stick with the standard one. That was kind of just suggested with the Talon banner. Which we pretty much already had set. It's just slightly different order and stuff such. Because it was working out pretty well. So I am curious if we can maintain that throughout multiple weeks. But yeah, we'll be messing around with that later tonight. We'll be back tomorrow as well at the normal time too, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 3.5 hours prior to now tomorrow. We'll be back doing that as we always do every Friday and Saturday. And hopefully Salty will give us redeem codes by then so we can actually hand them out. Though unlikely that she'll do that until Monday, but hopefully she'll get around to it. Anyways, guys, hope you all have best of luck if you're trying to get the new Mythic. Don't forget, Fairish Ra will be available in the event key drop table this Monday. The new Mythic that just came out will be available till next Friday, so the end of Thursday, for any of you that are interested in getting it. The new Legend that came in, that Spider Queen, is available until the end of Sunday at Monday Reset, so do keep that in mind if you want to open up event keys for that. And other than that, next Friday is Bounty Hunter, so we'll have that to mess around with for the weekend. So yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else I have to mention. So, hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I will see you all later, and thank you all so much for coming down. Goodbye, everyone.